adding quality pieces to its roster. We've seen plenty of that as of recently. You take a guy like Keith Hessler, he's a lefty out of the bullpen, a former big leaguer who's been versatile for them in late relief. He's been fantastic. Another guy by the name of Justin Trapp, Patriots fans have gotten to know pretty well. He's played all over the diamond. He's played left, center, right, second, and shortstop. So clearly, versatility might be his middle name. And finally, not someone new, but someone of old who's coming back, Tyler Bortnick, a fan favorite, a 2017 Atlantic League All-Star. He is back with Somerset. He's been manning second base as of recent, and he's going to be a big part of this playoff run coming up. I had a chance to speak with all three of them on the pregame show. We're going to take a look at that right now. All right, Patriots fans, now we're getting a chance to talk with Patriots relief pitcher Keith Hessler. And Keith, you're one of the newer additions here for this Patriots bullpen. You've been a great arm out of the pen. What has it been like for you kind of getting used to your first time being in the Atlantic League, getting used to a new bullpen, new guys, things like that?
It hasn't been too hard just because a lot of guys are new, come from different teams, and a lot of bullpens are the same. A lot of personalities are the same when it comes to baseball, especially in the bullpen, real laid back, so you kind of just fit in, you stay quiet for a little while, learn everybody's personalities, and jump in when you need to.
I'm sure guys like John Hook and Kyler Newby, even someone like Justin Wright who's been here all year, been a big help to you?
Yeah, I mean, everybody just goes about their business down there and does their job. You kind of have your role, you know what you're going to be doing, so you just prepare that way. And, everybody gets along real well down there. We feel like we're a real good unit, so it's not hard for them to do that.
Now, a good thing about the Atlantic League, a guy like you, major league experience, comes right in. You get thrown right into the fire. I'm sure it makes everything a little easier. Getting adjusted, what has it been like to be a part of a bullpen, throwing some big innings down in the playoff stretch?
That's always what you want to do. You want to be that guy who the team relies on, who you can count on. So I've enjoyed that. Everyone, like I said, everyone has a role, and you don't really mind what it is. Of course you want to be that guy when the game's on the line. So it's been nice that the team has been able to count on me and show trust to throw me those innings.
There you have Patriots fans. Keith Hessler, a big arm for the Patriots here down this playoff stretch. Keith, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Patriots fans, now we're getting a chance to hang out with Patriots infielder and outfielder, I could say, Justin Trapp. Now, Justin, you're one of the more recent acquisitions, you can say. Been here about a month. You came from Sussex County, so another New Jersey indie ball team. How has it been in Somerset so far? How have you gotten acclimated to a new team?
Oh, man, it's been unbelievable. Been a great experience. Just been around a great group of guys, man, who got that winning chemistry, man. It's been unbelievable. And just learning from the big leaguers, and man, it's just been a great time here, and man, I look forward to just continue to grow and learn from those guys, man. It's a blessing to be here.
I remember one of your first couple days here, there might have been like one or two walk-offs right in a row when you first got here. So right from the beginning, I know you were enjoying it, but you quickly kind of got yourself into the lineup. But it was kind of feels as if you may not know where you're playing that day, but you're going to play that day, or if not today, the next day. So that's something you pride yourself on, the versatility. Do you enjoy playing different positions?
Oh yeah, man. When I come to the field, I mean, I'm ready to play any position. I feel like they give me an upper edge on a lot of guys, and I'm thankful that I can play each and every position on the field. Only position I haven't played in my career is third and catcher, and hopefully one day I can play those as well, man. But like I said, it's just a blessing, man, to be able to play all those positions and help the team any way I can.
This is a team with not just yourself, but a lot of guys who are versatile, which sometimes can be a bit contentious, but it seems like a good thing in the clubhouse. Guys all pulling in the same direction. That's huge going to a playoff push. How do yourself, as well as kind of the guys in the clubhouse, get focused to buckle down for the playoffs?
Oh man, we know the playoffs is ahead, and we know we're in there already, but we know we just got to continue to take care of business. We don't want to go in as a cold team. We want to get hot at the right time, man, and right now is the perfect time. The last 10 games, last down the stretch. We're just trying to stay focused, man, and I can guarantee you we're ready. We're ready to go in the playoffs and compete, man, and trying to bring this thing back to Somerset.
It's something that fans love to hear. It's Justin Trapp, a versatile piece and an important piece of this Patriots playoff run. Justin, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, Patriots fans, we are back, and so is this guy right here, Tyler Bortnick. He is officially back with the Somerset Patriots. So, Bort, welcome back, my man. And, you played with the Milwaukee Brewers organization a little time in Colorado Springs, a little time in Biloxi, but, you decided to come back to Somerset. How come?
Well, for one, we're in a playoff hunt, and I want to finish what I started here and what our team started, so that was the main reason. And just to have fun. This is one of the funnest times playing baseball in September, and it couldn't be more exciting.
You come back now, and it's a little bit of a different roster shakeup. You're still coming in, you're playing second base. How do you kind of get back into the flow of things? How do you get used to some new guys in the lineup, new teammates, things like that?
Me and Brett talked about that, just kind of getting our feet wet and seeing what kind of different mix and matches we can do with our lineup. Obviously we got some good key parts in here. There's a lot of things we can do to mix and match, and right now is the time to find out how that works and all meshes before the whole thing starts in a week or two here. So hopefully that can line up, and I'm glad I'm not Brett and I have to make that decision.
Well, you mentioned, the whole thing, the playoffs are getting started in just a few weeks. You said it's good to, try to finish what you started. Not just yourself, but the team as a whole, because you still know these guys out here. How do you guys kind of get right for the last, 8, 9, 10 games or so? And then what's the focus heading into the playoffs?
Well, these last couple games here are huge. You want to go into the playoffs hot and swinging them good and pitching good. And, it's good playing teams like York that are in a playoff hunt. They're going to be giving you your best effort day in and day out. So that's going to be a good prep for us, both physically and mentally. And a good challenge, just stay within yourselves. Don't try to do too much, and let's do what we do best, and that's win ball games.
Easy enough to me. There you have it, fans. Tyler Bortnick, 2017 Atlantic Golf Star, hits the dab. He's officially back. Tyler, thank you very much. Well, there you have it, Patriots fans. It was great to talk with 3 key pieces to this Patriots roster, not just for the final homestand of the year, but for a playoff series just a couple weeks away. For the final time this regular season, it is officially time for Somerset Patriots baseball right here, right now on ESPN.TV.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to TD Bank Ballpark here in Bridgewater, New Jersey, where tonight the Somerset Patriots, they take on the York Revolution for the second game of a 3-game weekend set and the second game of the final homestand of the 2017 regular season, an interdivision matchup of the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Well, welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. My name is Mark Schwartz. Thank you so much for tuning into tonight's broadcast. We are going live with video here on ESPN.TV, and we would also like to thank all of our Facebook Live viewers for tuning in for this broadcast. We're also live on YouTube to provide you guys with the best video coverage possible for tonight's ball game between the Patriots and the Revolution. It's an interesting time of the season. This is our last Saturday night baseball game in the 2017 regular season. Amazing that we've already gotten to this point. The Patriots, they enter in 3rd place in the second half in the Liberty Division, but, of course, they've already clinched a spot in the 2017 postseason. So they go into tonight's matchup knowing their future, at least for the most part. On the other hand, there's the York Revolution, and they're in a very interesting spot in their season. They are currently a half game behind the Lancaster Barnstormers for first place in the Freedom Division. Now, Southern Maryland took the first half in the Freedom Division, so it's between the York Revolution and the Lancaster Barnstormers. And oh, by the way, the Sugarland Skeeters, they're only 3 games back in the Freedom Division as well. So that is a very interesting, tightly contested battle for first place in the Freedom Division. The winner of the second half will take on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs for the first round and the Freedom Division Championship Series. Now, the Patriots are likely going to go up against probably the Long Island Ducks. Right now, Long Island's magic number is 5 to clinch the second half. And the postseason will begin on September 20th. It'll be games 1 and 2 at the second half Liberty Division champion, most likely to be Long Island. Then game 3 comes right back here to TD Bank Ballpark. We'll be hosting it on Friday, September 22nd. And then games 4 and 5, if necessary, will take place here at TD Bank Ballpark as well. But the Patriots, they are starting to gear up towards the postseason. But before that, we do have a game to play against the York Revolution tonight. One day after Will Oliver pitched in arguably, or probably, the best pitching performance for a Somerset Patriot this year. A complete game shutout. The first complete game shutout of the 2017 season for any Patriot. 9 innings, 6 hits, no runs, no walks, 13 strikeouts. The Patriots won that ball game 6-0. Somerset has now taken the field here at TD Bank Ballpark, so we're getting closer and closer to first pitch. It'll be Efrain Nieves on the mound for Somerset tonight. He will work against Logan Williamson on the mound for the Revolution. A very important game for the Revs, and the Patriots are trying to play their best brand of baseball possible as we get closer and closer to the postseason. We'll take a break for the national anthem. When we return, we'll go over the TD Bank starting lineups and get ready for first pitch between the Patriots and the Revolution. All of that coming up next on ESPN.TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Somerset Patriots joined the New York Yankees and all of baseball in mourning the loss of Gene "Stick" Michael. He was a dear friend and valuable advisor during the early years of our team. The longtime New York Yankee executive helped build the club's late 1990 dynasty teams that went on to win 4 World Series championships, including 3 in a row from 1998 through 2000. He served as Yankees manager in 1981 and 1982, and as their general manager from 1990 to 1995. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, friends, and all those he touched in his life personally and professionally. At this time, We would like to observe a moment of silence for our friend, Gene Stick Michael. Once again, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, please remember to remove your caps. To honor America with the singing of our national anthem, Glorious Ensemble.
And a great job by Glorious Ensemble performing our national anthem here at TD Bank Ballpark tonight. We're getting ready for first pitch between the Somerset Patriots and the York Revolution. So time now to go over the TD Bank starting lineups. First, for the visiting York Revolution, they are managed by Mark Mason, assisted by Paul Fletcher and Anohel Polanco. Hitting a curveball is hard. That's why there are no curveballs at TD Bank. They make it easy. Stop by and say hi, one human to another. TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. Member FDIC. It's a very similar lineup to the one that we saw from the Revs last night. The one big change, Isaiah Tejeda, he is still out with a hand injury. He was taken out of the ballgame last night, and he is not in the lineup again tonight. So Tejeda is out, and Luis Cruz is plugged in as the starting catcher for the Revolution. It's Alonzo Harris to bat leadoff. He gets the start over at second base. Jared Mitchell hits second in right field. Luis Cruz is the catcher batting third. Telvin Nash is the cleanup batter. He's also the designated hitter for the Revs. Michael Burgess hits fifth. Tyrone Verona sixth. Travis Witherspoon seventh. Ryan Dent eighth. And Chase Simpson hits ninth for the Revolution, as they will work on the mound against Efrain Nieves for the Somerset Patriots. Nieves in his second season as a member of Somerset, 6-0 with a 6 feet, 170 pounds. He is 3-5 with a 3.02 earned run average. Over 65 2/3 innings of work, he has struck out 52 batters against 31 walks, and opponents are hitting .273 against him. He's been pitching very well as of late, a southpaw on the mound. And as we get closer and closer to the postseason, Nieves will be a guy that the Patriots will depend upon in their starting rotation. Probably going to be a top-end rotation guy in the postseason as well. He has pitched that well lately for the Patriots, turning in 7 quality starts over his last 9 outings. So Nieves will be on the mound for Somerset tonight as they take on the Revolution on a beautiful evening for baseball here in central New Jersey. Could not ask for better weather than this. It's a beautiful night, barely any clouds in the sky. If there are any, I certainly don't see them. A game time temperature right around the mid-60s, mid to low 60s. We might creep into the 50s tonight, and it is just very comfortable September weather for some very important baseball between the Patriots and the Revolution. It'll be Alonzo Harris to bat leadoff for the Revs tonight. He steps into the right-handed batter's box. Efrain Nieves will work from the mound. Nieves comes set, and the first pitch of tonight's ball game. It's a fastball that misses outside, and we're officially underway at 7:08 p.m. Eastern Time. Nieves works from the stretch without any runners on base, as he normally does. Harris will step out momentarily, wearing lime green batting gloves that certainly stand out considering the Revs are wearing black jerseys tonight. 1-0 to Harris. Check swing. Fastball's in there for a called strike. 1-1. The Patriots are in their traditional home white jerseys with white pants and the navy caps with navy brims. The Revolution, on the other hand, in their alternate black jerseys, gray pants, and the single-tone black cap with a black brim. Harris fouls this one off to the backstop, so a ball and 2 strikes. Alonzo Harris, a .314 batter on the season, 21 home runs, and 68 runs batted in. He'll hit from the right side here. Certainly in the conversation for Atlantic League Player of the Year. The 1-2 pitch. Misses outside at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we'll talk about it at length during tonight's broadcast, but I think you really go between Alonzo Harris, Kyle Roller, and currently not in the lineup tonight for the Revs, Isaiah Tejeda. Those are my top 3 favorites right now for Player of the Year honors. 2-2 to Harris, grounded softly over towards second. In front of it is Tony Thomas, and he flips it onto first base, and there is 1 away. So we'll set the defense now for the Somerset Patriots in tonight's ball game. In the outfield, moving from left to right, Olmo Rosario, Devontre Richardson, and Justin Trapp. Around the horn, Mark Minikazi at third, Alfredo Rodriguez at short, Tony Thomas is the second baseman, Carlos Guzman at first, and Yovan Gonzalez behind home plate with Efrain Nieves on the mound for the Patriots. So Nieves will now work against the left-handed hitting Jared Mitchell, the starting right fielder for the Revolution tonight. An open stance from the left side. First pitch here from Nieves misses upstairs, 1-0. The umpires for tonight's ball game, it is Carlos Deno behind home plate, Joe Del Besso at first, and John Harrington is the third base umpire. The 1-0 from Nieves, upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Silvio Martinez was a part of this umpiring crew last night, but he is taken out of the crew and placed in his place. Over at first base is Joe Del Besso. John Harrington was the home plate umpire last night. 2-0 to Mitchell, swung on and drilled out towards right center field. It's deep. Richardson ranges back near the warning track. That one is gone. A solo home run for Jared Mitchell, his 13th home run of the season. And the Revs have jumped out to an early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Well, Jared Mitchell gets the scoring started tonight. It was Alfredo Rodriguez who had a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning last night that got the Patriots out to an early lead, but it's Mitchell who silences the crowd with an early first inning blast. His 13th home run and the 59th run batted in of the season for the longtime member of the Revolution. So Mitchell celebrated over in the Revolution dugout down the third base line. It's now a 1-0 York lead. Up to the plate now comes the right-handed hitting Luis Cruz. And the first pitch to Cruz in there for a called strike, 0-1. Cruz starting in the place of Isaiah Tejeda. Tejeda hit third and was the starting catcher last night, but was taken out with a hand injury. 0-1 to Cruz. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Cruz plugged in, but don't be fooled by the title of backup catcher. Luis Cruz has put together a fine season. A .291 batting average with 5 home runs and 27 runs batted in. Now playing in his 60th game as a member of the Revs. The 0-2 from Nieves. In there for a called third strike. Inside corner, Cruz disagrees. Has a couple of nods from the home plate umpire here, Carlos Deno. But Efrain Nieves with his first strikeout of the ballgame. So 2 out, nobody on, top of the first inning. Revs lead 1-0 on the Jared Mitchell solo home run. And now Telvin Nash will come to the plate. If you're watching us live with video on SPN.TV or Facebook Live, we very much appreciate it. If you're waiting for radio coverage, as this first pitch fastball to Nash misses outside 1-0, we will join WCTC once the Rutgers football game and the Rutgers postgame show concludes. I know the Rutgers game is running pretty late, so it might be a while before we are on 1450 WCTC. Fastball here to Telvin Nash misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. So for the time being, we will have the video broadcast available for all of our Patriots fans. 2-0 on its way from Nieves. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Nash hitting .282 on the season with the Revs, 14 home runs and 33 runs batted in. A right-handed batter. Infield plays back, the outfield straight up. Wind blowing slightly out toward center field. The 2-1. Line drive into left field. It's a base hit for Telvin Nash. Second hit of the inning for the Revolution. So runner at first with 2 away. That'll bring the former Somerset Patriot Michael Burgess to the plate. Last night, the Patriots, they shut down the York Revolution. Will Oliver was on the mound. He allowed a 2-out base hit in the first inning to Isaiah Tejeda, but wound up only allowing 6 hits over the course of the entire ball game, holding the Revolution without a run and striking out a season-high 13 batters. But the Revs have also already had a little more success here in the top of the first inning. They lead 1-0. Nieves from the stretch. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Michael Burgess on the outside corner for a strike 0-1. Burgess, a .267 batter on the year, 17 home runs, along with 63 runs batted in. The 0-1. Late on the fastball. A little bit of tailing movement there by Nieves as well. No balls and 2 strikes. On a beautiful evening for baseball, fans continue to file in. Expecting a good crowd on hand as we have a post-game fireworks show scheduled, presented by Premium Dance of Hillsborough. The 0-2. Slider misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's the last weekend fireworks game of the 2017 season. We will have another fireworks game to wrap up our home schedule. It will be next Thursday, September 14th. That'll be the final home game of the year. This is the final homestand. The 1-2. Misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But still a lot scheduled over this final homestand. Fireworks tonight. A Sunday Fun Day tomorrow featuring a camouflage logo baseball giveaway presented by the Barcelona Memorial Foundation. And then autographs before the game and run the bases after the game. Slider here to Michael Burgess, misses low. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Nieves has already thrown 20 pitches here in the top of the first inning. He's about to throw his 21st. Telvin Nash leads off of first base. The Revs already leading 1-0 on a Jared Mitchell solo home run. The 3-2 on its way. Outside ball 4. It's the first walk allowed by Nieves today. First walk allowed by the Patriots this series. Oliver did not walk a batter last night. So that'll put Nash over at second. Burgess at first. And now Dairon Verona, the 6th batter of the inning, will step in for the Revs. We'll be following the out-of-town scoreboard all night long, as it is really of the most importance to the York Revolution. They currently enter this ballgame a half game behind the Lancaster Barnstormers for first place in the Freedom Division. And the night's already gotten off to a good start for the Revs. First pitch fastball here to the right-handed hitting Dairon Verona, misses upstairs 1-0. Of course, York is leading this ballgame, but the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs have jumped out to an early 5-0 lead over the Lancaster Barnstormers. That game over at Clipper Magazine Stadium in Lancaster is in the bottom of the second inning. So certainly that score helping out the Revs. A Barnstormers loss and a Revs win puts York back in first place. 1-0 to Verona, lined out towards right field. It's deep. Trap moving back near the warning track, and that one is over the fence. It's a home run for Dairon Verona. A 3-run shot here in the top of the first inning. 4 runs on the scoreboard for the Revs, and they lead 4-0 over the Patriots. This is not the start that Somerset was looking for, especially one night after defeating the Revolution 6-0. Dairon Verona with his 4th home run of the year. He goes opposite field here at TD Bank Ballpark, a 3-run shot. This is the second time this season that Verona has hit a 2-out, 3-run home run in the first inning against the Patriots. You could go back to that big 8-run outburst for the Revs against the Somerset Patriots over at People's Bank Park back on, on August 21st, the last time that Verona hit a home run in the first inning against the Patriots, as the first pitch here to Travis Witherspoon is in for a strike. Now Witherspoon, a right-handed batter. Pitch here from Nieves. Drops in for a called strike. 2 home runs already in the inning for the Revolution. Quite a start for them. Mitchell with a solo shot, Verona with a 3-run shot. Now an 0-2 count against the right-handed hitting Travis Witherspoon. The pitch. Slider grounded softly towards third. It's fielded by Minikazi. He'll throw over to first, and that retires the side. But the Revolution put up 4 runs on the scoreboard on 3 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 4-0 Revs lead to the bottom of the first inning. Coming up next on SPN.TV.
Are you ready for some family fun? Have a ball with everyone. It's a slam and hit. Come on and get patriotic.
Hi, I'm Sparky Lyle. I'm going to be at the ballpark all year long, and so should you. It's an all-star season.
It's a slam and hit. Come on, get patriotic.
Be a foster or adoptive parent and make a difference. You can help care for brothers, sisters, and teens that feel safe as you offer guidance and understanding. Learn more at njfoster.org or njadopt.org. Be sure to visit the New Jersey Division of Child Protective Services table on the concourse for a chance to win a 2017 Somerset Patriots Team Signed Autograph Baseball.
And welcome back here to TD Bank Ballpark for the bottom of the first inning. Revolution leading 4-0 over the Patriots. 4 runs on 3 hits against Efrain Nieves in the top of the first. We'll set the TD Bank starting lineup now for the hosting Somerset Patriots, managed by Brett Jody, assisted by Corey Dommel and Glenn Barker. It'll be Alfredo Rodriguez to bat leadoff for Somerset. Justin Trapp hits second. Tony Thomas third. Kyle Roller is the Raritan Building Services cleanup batter of the ballgame. Raritan Building Services, we don't cut corners, we clean them. Mark Minikazi hits fifth. Devontre Richardson sixth. Carlos Guzman seventh. Olmo Rosario eighth. And Jovan Gonzalez bats ninth for the Patriots as they work against Logan Williamson on the mound here for the York Revolution. Williamson, a longtime member of the Reds, 6 feet, 215 pounds southpaw, as he delivers the first pitch to Rodriguez. Williamson 5-9 on the year with a 5.52 ERA. 119 innings of work for Williamson as Rodriguez takes this fastball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Over those 119 innings, he's only struck out 41 batters while walking 57. And opponents are hitting .321 against him. As this pitch misses inside to Rodriguez, 3 balls and no strikes. So Williamson has struggled, especially as of late for the Revs. The 3-0. Inside ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Alfredo Rodriguez to begin the bottom of the first inning. So that's the first base runner of the ballgame for the Patriots. We will set the defense now for the York Revolution. In the outfield from left to right, Tyrone Verona, Travis Witherspoon, and Jared Mitchell. Around the horn, Chase Simpson at third, Ryan Dent at short, Alonzo Harris at second base, Michael Burgess at first, Luis Cruz is behind home, and again, Logan Williamson on the mound. Williamson drawing or issuing a 4-pitch walk to Alfredo Rodriguez to begin this ball game. As the first pitch fastball now to Justin Trapp is in for a called strike, 0-1. So that'll be something to watch over the course of the evening, is how is Williamson able to work the strike zone. Again, more walks than strikeouts on the year. Justin Trapp bluffs a bunt as the fastball misses upstairs from Williamson, 1-1. Williamson is now making his 26th appearance, 25th start of the year for the Revs. In his 3rd season with York, overall 4th season in the Atlantic League. Did not pitch with the Revs last year, but he pitched back in 2015 as Trapp offers on a bunt and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was an all-star in 2015 as a member of the Revs. All-star game being played over at the ballpark at Harbor Yard in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Toss a scoreless inning of relief in that all-star game. But certainly not great numbers for Williamson so far this year as he throws over to first base. And that's certainly highlighted really by his last start. 4 2/3 innings against the Bridgeport Bluefish. 8 runs on 12 hits. Took the loss. He's not won a ball game since August 3rd. 1-2 to Trapp, misses outside. A snap throw down to first base. And Rodriguez dives headfirst back in safely. A short throw from Luis Cruz. It was picked by Burgess, preventing an error. Oh, and we do have a new first base coach. Roy Lawrence is coaching first over there. Season ticket holder for the Patriots, using his My Rewards points to do so. Fastball misses upstairs here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez off of first. There's nobody out in the bottom of the first inning, and a 4-0 York Revolution lead. Pair of home runs in that first inning for the Revs. 3-2 on its way. Swung on and lifted out towards right center field. Playable for Travis Witherspoon. He'll make the catch. Rodriguez back to first. There's one away. So 1 out, nobody on for Tony Thomas, who now makes his home debut here at TD Bank Ballpark. The former St. Paul Saint. He'll wear number 3 on the back of his uniform. Did not play in last night's ball game for the Patriots, so this is the first time that many of these Somerset Patriots fans will have an opportunity to see Tony Thomas play. And we'll see what kind of first impression he's able to make. He steps in with a runner at first base, 1 away. First pitch to Thomas, misses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Thomas hitting .238 so far in the season, with no home runs and 1 run batted in. Just a limited amount of games for Thomas. He was acquired on August 31st by the Patriots. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Looked like a bit of a breaking ball there from Williamson. Thomas fouled it into the glove of Luis Cruz, 1-1. Thomas now playing in his 6th game as a member of the Patriots. Has 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple, still looking for his first home run. A guy who brings a good amount of power to the middle of this order. 18 home runs with the St. Paul Saints earlier this season. The 1-1 breaking ball, misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And I mentioned it a couple of different times in different broadcasts, but every time that Tony Thomas has been in the starting lineup for the Patriots, he has hit third. An indication of how the Patriots view him as a power bat. 2-1, grounded to the left side and into left field. Tony Thomas with a base hit in his first home at bat as a member of the Somerset Patriots. So he'll get a little fist pump over from the first base coach, Roy Lawrence. Runners at first and second with 1 away, and that'll bring Kyle Roller to the plate. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Patriots, and now good situation early in the ball game for Roller. A .329 batter with 22 home runs and 73 runs batted in this season. An uncharacteristic 0-for-4 performance from Roller last night, but a guy who has been red hot and has certainly thrusted himself into the Player of the Year conversation. First pitch from Logan Williamson on the outside part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Well, the Revs put up 4 runs at the top of the first inning. Roller certainly has the power to bring the Patriots within a run here in the bottom of the first. Mark Menikazi awaits on deck. The 0-1. Grounded back to Williamson, deflects off his glove, rolls to short, to second for 1, and the turn to first in time. Roller grounds into a 1-6-4-3 double play, and that retires the side. No runs for the Patriots on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. To the top of the second, the Revolution lead 4-0 on ESPN.TV.
We don't just want to watch the games cable gives us. We want all the teams, no matter where we live, with DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. We want Falcons in New York, Jets in LA, Bears in New Orleans, or Buccaneers in a quaint little New England bed and breakfast.
Can you please pass the marmalade, Charlie?
I sure can, Crazy Pirate.
Switch to DirecTV and get every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Patriots are the 2008 Atlantic League champions!
Visit NJ.com, the #1 local source for news and information about New Jersey and our communities. From our schools to our streets, our city halls, high school sports, and pro sports. NJ.com, small news, big news, true Jersey. Hey fans, do you have a group of friends or coworkers you want to entertain? Then come to TD Bank Ballpark and party with the Patriots on our Audi Suite level. Enjoy the next Patriots game you attend in a lap of luxury. Stop by the ticket office to find out more information on nightly hospitality suite rentals, as well as seasonal plans that are still available. The Somerset Patriots Suite Level is brought to you by your New Jersey Audi dealers and the all-new Audi Q5 SUV. We move to the top of the second inning. It's a 4-0 York Revolution lead, with all the action coming your way on SPN.TV. My name is Mark Schwartz, joined alongside in the booth next to me by our SPN.TV crew. First pitch from Efrain Nieves to Ryan Dent is a fastball that misses outside. We've got Chris Drabick directing the broadcast. We've got Jonathan Danica running the cameras, and we have my personal accountant, Ed Fagan. He's running our stats and analytics, as the 1-0 to Ryan Dent is lined into center field for a base hit. That's the 4th hit of the ballgame for the Revolution. They got it to a hot start in the first inning, a solo home run from Jared Mitchell, and a 3-run home run from Dyrone Verona. Have the Revs in front, and Ryan Dent here tries to continue that hot start in the top of the second inning with a leadoff single. That'll bring the #9 batter in the order, Chase Simpson, up to the plate. So 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Revs, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Somerset Patriots. Nieves will work from the stretch. First pitch to the switch-hitting Chase Simpson is a fastball that misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Simpson hitting .186, 2 home runs, and 13 runs batted in. He got 2 at-bats in last night's ballgame after entering the game for Isaiah Tejeda in the 6th. The 1-0. Out in front, 1 ball and 1 strike. Went 1 for 2 in those 2 at-bats. Did have a double in the 9th inning with 2 out against Will Oliver. It was the 6th hit of the ballgame for the Revs. Narrowly missing a home run to straightaway center field. But Will Oliver was able to strike out the next batter, Telvin Nash, swinging, to retire the side and give Oliver the complete game shutout. Simpson here laid on a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good crowd on hand here at TD Bank Ballpark for a Saturday night in September with school back in session. We had a back-to-school folders giveaway last night, and now we have the back-to-school celebration fireworks show after tonight's ball game. 2-2 on the inside corner for a strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Efrain Nieves. 1 away here in the top of the second inning. We'll move back to the top of the order, and Alonzo Harris. Harris 0 for 1. He went 0 for 0 for 4 in last night's ballgame, so he's 0 for 5 so far here at TD Bank Ballpark, and always a bit of a surprise when Alonzo Harris doesn't get on base when he's at the plate, as he grounds this one foul down the third baseline. 0-1. Harris has been such a dynamic player for the York Revolution. Again, he's a .314 hitter on the season. He's been in a bit of a streak where he's been striking out regularly. Struck out 3 times in his 4 at-bats last night, and he struck out at least once in 8 straight games and 10 of his last 11. Open stance from the right side here against Nieves. 0-1, misses high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. But overall, Harris has certainly enjoyed playing against the Patriots. A .344 average against Somerset over 17 games this season. The 1-1. Swing and a miss when chasing that changeup outside of the zone. So a ball and 2 strikes now. Harris enjoyed quite a fine series against the Patriots when Somerset traveled over to York back in late August. It was not a great series for Somerset. They were swept in that 4-game series. York completely controlled that series. The 1-2 misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But over those 4 games, Harris reached base safely in each of those games. Recorded 7 hits He was 7 for 13 from the plate while also drawing 6 walks. The 2-2 misses low and inside as it chases a bit inside towards Harris. He gets out of the way and stumbles across home plate a bit. 3 balls and 2 strikes. During that series for Harris, he also recorded 5 RBI. It was a very impressive streak for Harris. And at that time, we were talking about him as a Player of the Year candidate. And that conversation has continued here into the last week of the season. Runner takes off as the fastball misses low and outside to Harris. Ball 4. Second walk allowed by Efrain Nieves in tonight's ball game. Runners at first and second with 2 away. That'll bring Jared Mitchell to the plate, who had a solo home run back in the first inning. It was a walk that hurt Nieves in the first. There were 2 outs with a runner at first, Michael Burgess at the plate, and the Patriots were only trailing 1-0. And Nieves wound up walking Burgess and a couple of really very close pitches that went Burgess's way. And the next batter was Dyrone Verona, who hit an opposite field 3-run home run. First pitch now to Jared Mitchell, misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. But Mitchell's been a good player for the Revolution this season. I mean, has a batting average above 300, a good power-speed combination, 13 home runs now, along with 19 stolen bases. Very good numbers for Mitchell on the year. The 1-0. Misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Not only has Mitchell been hitting for a bit of power, but he's also been reaching base. In fact, he has reached base safely in 47 of his last 51 games. Make that 48 of his last 52 after his home run in the first inning. He has 10 home runs now over this 52-game stretch. The 2-0. Fouled off. 2-1. During this stretch, he also reached base safely in 31 consecutive home games, which was the 5th longest on-base streak at home in York Revolution history. Point being, he's been playing well for the Revs lately. 2-1. At the letters for a called strike. Mitchell disagrees with the strike zone. Carlos Deno calls it a strike, and the count runs to 2-2. Ryan Dent off of second base. He led off the inning with a base hit. Alonzo Harris off of first after his 1-out walk. Revs lead 4-0. Runners at first and second. Jared Mitchell at the plate. Nieves hoping for a ground ball. He'll come set. Though 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice breaking ball there from Nieves. Had Mitchell out in front. That's the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Nieves. 2 out with 2 on for Luis Cruz. I was talking just a couple of minutes ago about how Alonzo Harris was playing against the Patriots during that last series in York. Well, Luis Cruz is another guy that, I mean, he was playing every day. Isaiah Tejeda was actually suspended for the first 3 games of that series over at Peoples Bank Park. So Luis Cruz wound up being an everyday player in that series and performed quite well. That was in the middle of a massive stretch for Cruz. First pitch here from Nieves, in for a strike, 0-1. Cruz wound up hitting safely in 6 straight ball games, 4 of which were against the Patriots. He hit in all 4 of those games of that series. As he grounds this one towards third on 1 hop, it's picked up by Minikazi, who races to third base, and he just beats Ryan Dent. A bang play at third, but Minikazi gets the call. He's able to rob Luis Cruz of a base hit. And that retires the side. No runs for the Revs coming on. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. To the bottom of the second, 4-0's our score in favor of the Revs on SPN.TV.
Visit the website, heritageirishDance.com, for information on classes and how to register for a free class.
friendly and entertaining environment, utilizing state-of-the-art facilities available to the entire community. Save time, check it online with the Supercuts mobile app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play. When it's time for a haircut, save time and check it online using their convenient mobile app or at supercuts.com. Supercuts, get your haircut at Supercuts. It's a 4-0 Revolution lead as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Mark Schwartz here on SPN.TV. Chris Drabick, Jonathan Danica, and probably the only Baltimore Orioles fan in the state of New Jersey, Ed Fagan, running the SPN side of things to the broadcast booth to the left of me. It'll be Mark Minikazi to lead off the bottom of the second inning here. Minikazi followed by Devontre Richardson and Carlos Guzman due up here in the bottom of the second. Patriots trailing 4-0. First pitch from Logan Williamson. Fastball at the knees for a called strike 0-1. Williamson allowed a pair of base runners in the bottom of the first inning, but got Kyle Roller to ground into a 1-6-4-3 double play to retire the side. Minikazi grounds this one foul down the third base line, 0-2. It was a ground ball from Roller that deflected off of Williamson's glove, but it took an advantageous bounce for the Revs, deflecting right over to Ryan Dent at short, who tossed it on to Harris for one and on to first base for the inning-ending double play. So an 0-2 count now to the right-handed hitting Minikazi. Pitch is fisted foul right into the Patriots dugout. A one-handed catch made by Carlos Guzman with his helmet on. And he tries to find a couple of fans in the stands. He throws it into the stands. And fan able to make a catch. Guzman was ready for that one. So no balls and 2 strikes to Minikazi. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Minikazi hitting .249 on the season, 8 home runs, and 33 runs batted in. Hit a solo home run last night. As the Patriots are starting to slowly get production from a good amount of other players in terms of the power department. Fouls this one off. Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, it was Kyle Roller who was leading the way in terms of power for a while, but look at this team lately. Mark Minikazi with a home run last night. Alfredo Rodriguez had his first home run of the season. Justin Trapp has had a home run recently. 1-2 here to Minikazi's fouled off. Tony Thomas has not hit a home run yet for the Patriots, but he will add a good amount of power. Tyler Bortnick hit a home run over in the series over in Southern Maryland. So, I mean, looking at this team, power has really eluded this club for a while. But they're starting to get some production from other players in the lineup, which only bodes well for this team as we get closer to the postseason. The 1-2 to Minikazi misses upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a postseason that is slowly creeping up on us. Game 1 of the Liberty Division Championship Series, that will take place on Wednesday, September 20th. Just about 10 days away. 2-2 here to Minikazi. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Late on the 86-mile-per-hour cutter there from Logan Williamson. And there's one away here in the bottom of the second inning. That's the first strikeout of the ballgame for Williamson, a pitcher who, again, has only struck out 41 batters in 119 innings. He'll work from the windup. First pitch now to Devontre Richardson. Misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Richardson has really grown into the everyday starting center fielder for the Patriots. Every day that he's been with the team since he signed, he's been in center field. As he swings over this one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, there are a couple of other players on this team that could potentially play center field. We've seen Justin Trapp in center field for 1 game earlier this season. Greg Golson had been a center fielder for a bit, but Golson's currently on the disabled list. 1-1 to Richardson, swung on and missed. Chased a breaking ball outside of the zone, 1-2. I mean, after that, though, you know, Richardson's really the guy. So when you're looking at the postseason roster, and you look at who's going to fit into each position, there's a lot of question marks. As the breaking ball here misses outside to Richardson, 2-2. But I think it's pretty safe to assume that come postseason time, it'll be Richardson in center field. One of the few assurances that you could have with this lineup. The 2-2 to Richardson, grounded softly back to Williamson. Off the mound, Fields throws to first in time to beat Richardson. Just beats out the throw. Richardson hops a couple of times down the first base line. Williamson almost dropped that ball when he fielded it with his glove, kind of snow-coned it, but was still able to transfer to the hand and throw it over to first base to beat the speedy Richardson. That'll bring Carlos Guzman to the plate now. Guzman, another assured spot in the lineup for the postseason. He'll be the starting first baseman, I would imagine, for all of the games. He's been so strong defensively at first base this season. He's also been a consistent player. Leads the team in games played, at-bats, and hits. First pitch now from Williamson, a fastball that misses upstairs to Guzman, 1-0. And Carlos right now is on the precipice of history. He has an opportunity with 2 hits tonight to record the 1,000th hit of his professional career. The 1-0 here is slapped foul down the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. This would certainly be a good night to do it. He's got a good crowd on hand. Again, a post-game fireworks show planned, so this would certainly be a cool night to be honored with his 1,000th hit. But he needs to get 2. He's 2 away at 998 hits in his professional career. The 1-1. Grounded foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guzman overall is a .249 batter with 6 home runs and 56 RBI. Power numbers might not be exactly where he was expecting them to be this season, but he is more than made up for it with his strong defense and his consistency out on the plate. As a breaking ball here, it just misses outside, 2-2. But Guzman certainly has the power to go yard. He's got a sweet swing from the left side of the plate. He sent a couple of balls well into orbit here at TD Bank Ballpark this season. Deuce is wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. The pitch from Williamson. Grounded over towards first, stays fair, rolls over to Michael Burgess, bobbles the ball a bit, but he'll step on the first base bag, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We will head to the 3rd inning. Patriots trail 4-0 on ESPN.TV.
Piscataway getting set for kickoff. The ball is loose. That's a live football. It's recovered by Rutgers for the touchdown. Throw it deep, a man all alone. And he's still on his feet. There he goes. No one's going to catch him.
Visit BellariDesign.com to learn more today.
The Somerset Patriots would like to thank Children's Specialized Hospital for their continued support of the 2017 Somerset Sluggers Kids Club. Looking for a great deal on a car? You'll score big savings at your Tri-State Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of Somerset Patriots baseball. Visit tristateford.com for more information today. Top of the 3rd inning now at TD Bank Ballpark. Mark Schwartz here on ESPN.TV. Our crew to the left of me. It'll be Telvin Nash to lead off the 3rd. First pitch from Efrain Nieves. Slider that misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Revs. No runs on 1 hit. And no errors for the Somerset Patriots. The 1-0. Swung on and fouled off over the screen and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, if you're tuning in to our video coverage and you're wondering why we're not on the radio, the Rutgers football 5th quarter show is currently going on right now. So that game has come to its conclusion. A tough loss for Rutgers, 16-13. Eastern Michigan defeats the Scarlet Knights just down the road in Piscataway. The 1-1 here to Nash. Misses inside at 2 balls and 1 strike. So once the 5th quarter show for Rutgers comes to its conclusion, they will join us in progress, but our video broadcast will continue throughout the course of the evening, both on spn.tv, also on facebook.com/Somerset Patriots. The 2-1. Slider swung on and fouled off down the third baseline. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, the Revs put up 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Jared Mitchell, the second batter of the ballgame, hit a solo home run to right center field. And then 5 batters later, Tyrone Verona with a 3-run home run to straightaway right field. An opposite field shot for Verona gave the Revs a 4-0 lead. The 2-2 from Nieves. Inside corner, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the ballgame for Nieves. 1 away here in the top of the 3rd for Michael Burgess. Patriots have been held off the scoreboard so far. The Revs had an opportunity with runners at 1st and 2nd and 1 away in the top of the 2nd inning to add to their lead, but were not able to do so. When Nieves struck out Jared Mitchell and got Luis Cruz to ground into a 5 unassisted to end the frame. So now 1 out for Michael Burgess, who drew a 2-out walk right in front of the Tyrone Verona home run in his last at-bat. First pitch to Burgess, outside part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Continuing to check the out-of-town scoreboard in the Atlantic League. Already a high-scoring game between the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and the Lancaster Barnstormers. 0-1 on its way from Nieves. Misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Barnstormers have rallied back to tie up that ball game against Southern Maryland. 6-6 is the score. The Blue Crabs put a 5 spot on the board in the top of the 2nd. The Barnstormers responded with a 6 spot in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-1 to Burgess is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Lancaster was actually leading that ball game at 1.6-5, but the Blue Crabs have responded. They've put up a run in the top of the 4th to tie up that ball game at 6. But that's what we can expect from this Barnstormers team moving forward. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Efrain Nieves. Now with 5 strikeouts in this ballgame, there's 2 out, nobody on in the top of the 3rd. But for Lancaster, they've added some pieces back to their lineup. Most notably, Darian Sanford at the top of the lineup, Caleb Gindel in the middle. And Trayvon Robinson is healthy now. Lastings Millage is about to be healthy for the Barnstormers. That is a potent and dangerous offense over there. Fastball on the inside corner for a called strike here to Tyrone Verona, who disagrees. He tried to get out of the way, but it's called a strike, 0-1. But with Lancaster starting to heat up, especially on their offense, right now they're in first place in the Freedom Division, a half game up on the Revs. So they're in a good position as the slider here misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Meanwhile, the Blue Crabs just added another run. They actually now lead 7-6 over the Barnstormers, but still a lot of baseball left to be played over there. Combined 13 runs on combined 18 hits over the first 3.5 innings at Clipper Magazine Stadium. I mean, that's the way that the Barnstormers play, and that's the way that that ballpark plays over there. 1-1 here to Verona. Lifted over towards center. It's going to drop in front of Devontre Richardson. And it's a base hit here for Tyrone Verona. He's 2 for 2. A 2-out hit for the Revs continues this inning. It'll bring Travis Witherspoon to the plate. But, I mean, looking towards the postseason, when you think about who the potential opponents will be for the Patriots, looks like it'll likely be Long Island in the Liberty Division Championship Series. But from a Freedom Division standpoint, you have the Blue Crabs who are already in. Their strength is their pitching. Gabby Hernandez, Darrell Thompson, Brian Grenning, and Drew Hayes, who's been lights out against the Patriots this season, put up a very formidable pitching rotation. First pitch here to the right-handed hitting Witherspoon misses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. And then the Barnstormers are on the opposite end of the spectrum. Their Achilles heel is their starting rotation, but they have arguably the best lineup in the league. 1-0 to Witherspoon, chases it in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. When you have a guy like Darian Sanford batting leadoff, and then middle of the order featuring Cole Garner, Sean Halton, Trayvon Robinson, Nate Coronado, Caleb Gindel now as well. Lastings Millage will be back soon. That is a very tough lineup. 1-1 here, grounded fair down the third base line. It's past the diving Minikazi. Verona round second, heading for third. He's going to be waved home. Up with the ball now is Rosario. The throw will come into third base. There's no throw home. Tyrone Verona scores from first. It's a 2-out RBI double for Travis Witherspoon, and the Revolution now lead 5-0 here in the third inning. Well, the last time that the Patriots played the Revolution in that 4-game series, the Revs actually absolutely tore apart the Patriots with 2-out RBI base hits. It was 2-out rallies non-stop from the Revs, and that was really the storyline in that entire series. And here in tonight's ballgame, that's continued. It's 5 runs on the board for the Revs. 4 of them have scored with 2 out in an inning. As the first pitch now to Ryan Dent on the outside part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Nieves had 2 out, nobody on a pair of strikeouts against Telvin Nash and Michael Burgess. But a 2-out single for Tyrone Verona and then a 2-out RBI double from Travis Witherspoon have increased the Revs' lead to 5-0. 0-1. Check swing. Pitches in there for a strike anyway. No balls and 2 strikes. In the last series between the Revs and the Patriots, York wound up scoring 34 runs in that 4-game series. 22 of those 34 runs were scored with 2 out in an inning. This one's grounded foul. Still no balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting Ryan Dent. Now, of course, the Revs didn't score any 2-out runs last night. They were shut out thanks to a dominant pitching performance from Will Oliver. Tonight's been a different story. It's a 5-0 Revs lead. They're also out-hitting the Patriots 6-1. 1-2 on its way from Nieves. Misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But to continue that conversation about the Barnstormers and the postseason, Lancaster's been an interesting team. The Patriots have played pretty well against them. But there's always that sense when you go over to Lancaster with that ballpark and that lineup, things can go haywire rather quickly. The 2-2. Misses low. Smothered by Jovan Gonzalez in the dirt, so Witherspoon has to hold at second. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's that short porch and right, and those batters, they are conditioned to hit to that ballpark. It's the short porch and right, and it's the power alley in left center field that become rather dangerous. And for a Patriots team, not a great matchup in that situation. It'll be interesting no matter who they play. I mean, that's the whole point of the postseason. You're supposed to go up against the best teams in the league. The 3-2. Grounded to the left side. Rodriguez in front. Fields cleanly. Throw to first base in time. And that retires the side. But the Revolution, they get another run on the scoreboard. A 2-out rally culminates in a 2-out RBI double from Travis Witherspoon. And it's the Revs leading 5-0 as we move to the bottom of the third on 1450 WCT. Oh, on that and SPN.TV.
If you want the best in dance instruction in Central Jersey, look no further than Premier Dance Hillsborough. The highly trained and experienced instructors have backgrounds in a variety of dance styles and a passion for teaching and inspiring their students to excel.
With great rates, annual dividends, and exceptional customer service, NJM Auto Insurance is a home run with policyholders. You've got the green light. Get a quote today at startyournjm.com. NJM Extraordinary Value, in auto insurance. TD Bank is proud to sponsor the Somerset Patriots. Are you an early bird or a night owl? Well, TD Bank is both. You see, TD Bank has the longest hours. They're also open 7 days a week. Of course, you can always visit them online at tdbank.com or give them a ring at 888-751-9000 because you can talk to an actual person 24/7, 365 days a year. It's all part of what they call banking human, and it's why TD Bank is America's most convenient bank. Member FDIC, TD Bank NA. Omo Rosario will lead off the bottom of the third for the Patriots as the first pitch fastball from Logan Williamson is in for a called strike, 0-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Revs. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Patriots. Rosario takes this one low. 1 ball and 1 strike. A 4-run top of the first, and another run in the third have the Revs in front. 1-1 to Rosario, misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. It'll be Rosario followed by Yovan Gonzalez and back to the top of the order. And Alfredo Rodriguez here in the bottom of the third inning. The 2-1 on its way. In there for a called strike, 2-2. Rosario hitting .268 on the year, 6 home runs, and 39 runs batted in. First year with the Patriots. Spent a couple of years with York's top rival, the Lancaster Barnstormers, the 2-2. Fastball misses upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sparky the mascot walking on the lower concourse here, getting a lot of cheers from the fans. The 3-2. Grounded softly over to the right side. Over goes Williamson. He drops the ball, and it goes over to second base. Alonzo Harris throws it away. It'll roll into right field, and Omo Rosario advances over to second base. Unfortunate play there for the York Revolution. Williamson chopped off the mound, and he went over to try to field the bouncing ball to the left of the pitcher's mound, and he wasn't able to field it cleanly. Wound up rolling to Alonzo Harris. His only chance at a play was to pick it up with his bare hand, and he wound up throwing over to first base. It's been ruled an infield single for Omo Rosario. He then advances to second base on the E4. Would have been a bang-bang play at first. So that's the second hit of the ballgame for the Somerset Patriots. And a leadoff runner in scoring position. First time they've had a runner in scoring position tonight. Yovan Gonzalez will now step to the plate. Gonzalez has seen his batting average drop recently. First pitch in for a called strike, 0-1. The starting catcher in the All-Star game for the Liberty Division is hitting .290 on the year now with 3 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Runner in scoring position here, the 0-1. Grounded up the middle, it deflects off of Williamson's shin, rolls towards right field. Rosario will head over to third, and Gonzalez advances to first on an infield single. Well, if you're the Revolution, you'll probably take that in that situation. That ball was ticketed for center field. It was ticketed for an RBI base hit for Yovan Gonzalez. But it deflects off the shin or maybe the ankle of Logan Williamson. And instead of rolling into center, it rolls into an unoccupied hole between first and second. Both Burgess and Harris wound up chasing it down and collecting the ball right at the edge of the infield dirt where it meets the outfield grass, holding Rosario to third. So a pair of infield singles for the Patriots here in the bottom of the third inning. Have runners on the corners with nobody out, and that'll bring Alfredo Rodriguez to the plate. A strong day yesterday. He's already drawn a walk so far tonight. First pitch to Rodriguez, in for a called strike, 0-1. Rodriguez went 3 for 5 yesterday. A pair of doubles and his first home run of the season, along with a pair of runs batted in. 0-1 breaking ball misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Rosario off of third, Gonzalez off of first. The Patriots trail 5-0. Still plenty of time for a comeback, but certainly would behoove the Patriots to start the comeback earlier rather than later. And no better time than right now for Alfredo Rodriguez. 31 ribeye steaks on the season. The 1-1. Breaking ball taken low, and a nice block made by Luis Cruz. 2 balls and a strike. Now Rodriguez has hit safely in his last 4 ball games. Over that span, 9 hits, coming in 16 at-bats, to go along with a home run, 3 doubles, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs batted in. It's been a strong recent stretch for Rodriguez, increasing his batting average from 242 to 255. 2-1 is drilled out towards left field. That'll get a run home. Over to make the play is Tyrone Verona, but Omo Rosario will jog home from third base. Alfredo Rodriguez comes through with a sacrifice fly, and the Patriots are on the scoreboard. 5-1's our score here in the bottom of the third. Well, it's the third RBI and as many in 2 days for Rodriguez, and that'll start the comeback effort. 5-1's our score. Now Justin Trapp will come to the plate. The Patriots are at the bat here in the bottom of the third inning with 1 out, which means it's time now to give the My Rewards radio code for today. I know we're not on radio just yet. We're only on SPN.TV, but still give the My Rewards code as first pitch here to Justin Trapp is grounded foul down the third base line, 0-1. You can go to the My Rewards section of your Patriots mobile app and enter the code ALMOND. ALMOND is the My Rewards code. Enter the code ALMOND to get yourself some My Rewards points. The 0-1. This is low and outside to Trapp. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the My Rewards code for today's broadcast is ALMOND. A-L-M-O-N-D. As in the nut. An almond. Believe an almond's a nut. 1-1 to Trapp. Grounded softly down the third base line. It kicks off the lip of the grass and rolls foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Again, almond. A as in apple. L as in Larry. M as in Mark. O as in octopus. N as in Nixon. And D as in dog. And I struggled to come up with different words for those different letters. That was way more difficult than I thought it would be. But the word is almond. Go to the My Rewards section of your Patriots mobile app and enter the code ALMOND. Fun fact, I don't like almonds. That has no bearing on this ball game or the My Rewards code, but not a fan. The 1-2 here is fouled off. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not a fan of most of those kind of candied nuts. I know I'm going to make some enemies here when I say this, but really any of those candy bars that have almonds or cashews or any of those Milky Ways or Snickers, don't eat them. Not crazy about them. Won't touch them. The 1-2 to Trapp. Grounded to the left side. It's fielded at third by Simpson. The second for 1. The turn to first in time. An inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. Second double play the Patriots have grounded into, and that will retire the side. But Somerset gets a run back on a sac fly from Alfredo Rodriguez. 5-1's our score as we head now to the top of the 4th inning on SPN.TV.
Check your mailbox. You could find money in it. Money Mailer could be in your mailbox right now. You will find great offers from local area businesses you know and trust, including the Somerset Patriots. You can also find all of these offers and many more at moneymailer.com or on our new convenient Money Mailer app for Android and iPhone users. So start saving money now and look for your Money Mailer envelope, which might be in your mailbox today.
What's better than winning Dealer Rater's Dealer of the Year award? Winning it back-to-back. That's right. Flemington Car and Truck Country is New Jersey's Dealer Rater Dealer of the Year 2 years in a row. So thank you to our customers for putting us on top again. Visit DealerRater.com to read our reviews. Over 1 million satisfied customers can't be wrong. 17 brands, 6,000 vehicles in one location. Flemington Car and Truck Country family of dealerships.
Proud to be the better way to buy.
Certified psychiatrist and founder of the Center for Wellness in Monroe Township. Our mission to deliver ethical, client-focused care. We provide mental health, partial care, and intensive outpatient programs, and substance abuse. Intensive outpatient programs for adults and teens. We accept most commercial.
Alpine Business Systems is a leading provider of information systems and services. Our staff of certified network professionals deliver world-class consulting, design, implementation, integration, and maintenance of computing systems and networks, as well as system support services and custom software development. Visit Alpine Business Systems at www.alpinebusiness.com. shop.alpinebiz.com. Alpine Business Systems is the official IT provider of the Somerset Patriots. For over 100 years, Carrier has offered a wide array of specialized behavioral health services for individuals throughout New Jersey. Their new updated facility enhances their ability to treat illnesses such as anxiety, depression, and substance abuse in a compassionate and healing environment. Visit carrierclinic.org today. First pitch here to Chase Simpson is a fastball that misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Simpson followed by the top of the order, Alonzo Harris and Jared Mitchell due up here in the 4th inning. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alfredo Rodriguez with a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the Patriots now trail 5-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Revs. 1 run on 3 hits. And no errors for the Patriots. Simpson swings over this one. 1 ball and 1 strike. I believe we should be joining WCTC shortly, but for the time being, we still would very much like to say thank you to all of our viewers on SPN.TV and on our Facebook page and our YouTube page as well to tune in for tonight's broadcast. 1-2 to Simpson, swung on and missed strike 3. Well, that's the 6th strikeout already in this ballgame for Efrain Nieves. The Revolution, they have proved to be a strikeout-prone team. We saw them strike out 13 times in last night's ballgame against Will Oliver. Now 6 strikeouts here for Efrain Nieves through the first out in the top of the 4th inning. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order and Alonzo Harris for his 3rd at-bat of the ballgame. First pitch to Harris, fouled off over the backstop, out of play. 0-1. Harris drew a walk his last time up. He grounded out to second base to begin today's ballgame, but 1 batter after Harris, Jared Mitchell, hit a solo home run. Here Harris takes this fastball a bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So I will pose a player A versus player B right now, so our listeners can decide who they think would be a better candidate for player of the year. As Alonzo Harris fouls this one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I think it'll be pretty obvious who I'm talking about after I give the stats and the positions. But figure, why not? Let's have a little bit of fun with it. We're getting towards the time of the year where it makes sense to start to engage in that conversation for who is the player of the year. 1-2 to Harris, swing and a missed strike 3. 7th strikeout for Efrain Nieves. And there's quickly 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Nieves. The 7 strikeouts are 1 shy of a season high. He's struck out 8 batters 2 different times. So 2 out, nobody on for Jared Mitchell. All right, player A versus player B. Player A has played in almost every game for his team, played in over 110 games. He's played multiple different positions. First pitch here from Efrain Nieves, in for a strike to Mitchell, 0-1. He has a .314 batting average, 21 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Also has 25 stolen bases. Leads the Atlantic League in runs scored. Has been an everyday leadoff batter for his team. 0-1 to Mitchell, misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's tied for 4th in the league in home runs. He ranks 5th in the league in batting, 4th in hits, 5th in total bases, and 1st among qualified batters in slugging percentage. So that's player A. 1-1 here from Nieves is a slider that misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. We'd also like to welcome in all of our WCTC listeners who are joining us after the conclusion of the Rutgers football game. Rutgers falling to Eastern Michigan 16-13. Patriots here trailing 5-1, so not a great day in sports for Central New Jersey so far, but hope to turn it around. Still a lot of baseball left. 2-1 to Jared Mitchell, misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So that was player A. Player B is not a qualified player in the Atlantic League. However, he's 2 plate appearances shy of being a qualified player. He's only played in now 82 games as a member of his respective team. He doesn't really play in the field. He's primarily a designated hitter. But once he becomes qualified, he would be 2nd in the league in hitting. as the 3-1 misses inside to Mitchell, ball 4. So Jared Mitchell draws a 2-out walk, and Nieves still looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. That'll bring Luis Cruz to the plate. Player B is hitting .329, which would rank second in the league in hitting if he was qualified. 22 home runs, which is tied for fourth in the league. 73 runs batted in, which is tied for sixth in the league. And he would easily lead the league in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS once he becomes qualified. Again, 2 plate appearances shy of that. So you look at those 2 numbers from player A and player B, and you decide who between those 2 guys deserves to be the player of the year. As the first pitch here misses low to Luis Cruz, 1 ball and no strikes. Again, player A hitting .314 with 21 home runs, 68 RBI, 25 stolen bases, an everyday player defensively who's been with the team all season long. Player B, a .329 batter, 22 home runs, 73 runs batted in. A designated hitter for the most part who's only played in 82 games and no stolen bases. You make the decision on who you would have as your player of the year. If you haven't figured out by now, player A is Alonzo Harris of the Revs. Player B is Kyle Roller of the Somerset Patriots. Nieves will throw over to first base again as Mitchell back standing safely. Revolution leading this ballgame 5-1 with 2 out in the top of the 4th inning here at TD Bank Ballpark. In my opinion, right now it is so neck and neck between Harris and Kyle Roller. I might slightly give it to Alonzo Harris at this point, but it is so close. Mitchell takes off. 1-0 misses inside. The throw down to second is perfect on a dime from Yovan Gonzalez. Throws out Jared Mitchell, and that retires the side. No runs for the York Revolution. No hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We will move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Revs lead 5-1 on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
Okay, class, as you know, today is career day, and we have a very special guest in.
View a full inventory of new Ford cars and trucks online at Fullerton.com.
Wet wipe?
Tell us the story about the Jersey Devil.
Here's a real Jersey legend about the fireball. They say it was forged in Jersey, a flaming orb that transforms ordinary people into winners!
Fireball from the New Jersey Lottery is real and only for Pick 3 and Pick 4. Play Fireball and you can transform a non-winning ticket into a winner.
Hey, look, I won!
Give your numbers more firepower because anything can happen in Jersey.
Urban legends have feelings too!
All right. Hey fans, all season long the Somerset Patriots have teamed up with AARP New Jersey to offer its members discounted tickets to every Sunday home game. Just mention the code Patriots3 and that you're an AARP member to get a buy one, get one free ticket discount to any Sunday home game. Be sure to visit aarp.org today for more information on how you can become a member. AARP, real possibilities. Somerville Aluminum wants you to love the savings now and later. Get 10% off energy efficient and money saving Signet Provia premium doors and sunrise restoration windows. Visit somervillealuminum.com for details. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning here at TD Bank Ballpark. Mark Schwartz here on 1450 WCTC. We would like to welcome again in all of our radio listeners, those of you who might be tuned in for the 5th quarter show between for Rutgers football after they dropped a tough loss at home over in Piscataway, just down the road for us here at TD Bank Ballpark. Tough loss to Eastern Michigan, 16-13. We'd like to welcome in all of our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. It'll be Tony Thomas to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch drops in for a called strike 0-1. We've got Mike Sanfilippo, who is running the boards back over in our Somerset studios. A long day for Mike, running the boards for Rutgers football, and now for us here for Patriots baseball, as Thomas rips one foul down the left field line. No balls and 2 strikes. We'd also like to say thank you again to all of our video listeners, whether you've been tuned in on SPN.TV or on our Facebook page, watching the broadcast of tonight's ball game. It is a 5-1 York Revolution lead. Nobody on, nobody out, bottom of the 4th inning. Heart of the order due up here for the Patriots. It'll be Thomas, Roller, and Minikazi as Thomas swings and lifts this one out to right field, but playable for Mitchell. Right in front of the warning track, he makes the catch, and there's one away. So if you're just joining us, we'll go in a recap of tonight's ball game. The Revs got out to a 4-0 lead in the top of the 1st inning against Efrain Nieves. A solo home run from Jared Mitchell and a 3-run home run from Dyrone Verona put the Revs in front 4-0. York then added to their lead in the top of the 3rd inning on a 2-out RBI double from Travis Witherspoon. The Patriots responded in the bottom of the 3rd on a sacrifice fly from Alfredo Rodriguez, but that's been the lone run so far for the Patriots. Logan Williamson's on the mound here, and a first pitch breaking ball to the left-handed hitting Kyle Roller. Misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Roller is 0 for 1 today. He grounded into a double play in his first at-bat. The 1-0 is grounded softly to the left side of the infield. Williamson comes off, fields, and while falling backwards, fires it over to first base in time for the 2nd out. A nice play there from Williamson. Probably rushed his throw a little more than he needed to. I mean, he had time to plant his feet and throw over to first base with Kyle Roller running down the first base line. Well, there's 2 away now with nobody on in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Mark Minikazi stepping to the plate. Minikazi is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Logan Williamson on the mound. He's allowed 1 unearned run over the first 3 2/3 innings of this ball game. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. First pitch to Minikazi misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. Efrain Nieves, who is set to come back out for the 5th inning. He has tossed 4 innings so far, allowing 5 runs, all of which earned. 6 hits, 3 walks, but close to a season high in strikeouts. He already has 7 strikeouts so far tonight. Minikazi late on the fastball here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, this is a rested Patriots bullpen tonight because Will Oliver went the distance in last night's 9-inning complete game shutout. 1-1 and Minikazi is swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it's all hands on deck for the Patriots here on a beautiful evening for baseball in central New Jersey. A little cool, so some of the fans breaking out the sweatshirts, but that just means that we're getting ready for playoff baseball. 1-2 to Minikazi, misses low and inside. Checked his swing, but clearly didn't go around despite the appeal. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've got a post-game fireworks show here at TD Bank Ballpark presented by Premier Dance of Hillsborough. It's also Irish Heritage Night at the ballpark, so have some Irish food on the concourse. There's been a couple of Irish dance groups that have come out to perform both before the game and during the game. Minikazi swings through the slider here, strike 3. Second strikeout of the ballgame for Logan Williamson in a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th inning. Revs lead 5-1 as we head to the 5th on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
If your child is facing a special health challenge, from chronic illness or autism to spinal cord injuries or developmental delays, it can feel like a long road ahead. But Children's Specialized Hospital is with you for every step, with the nation's most advanced care in multiple locations. And we bring your whole family by our side, adding your expertise to ours, because working together, we can bring children further than you've ever imagined.
Children's Specialized Hospital.
Fans, you can open up your Patriot app for tonight's My Reward code. It is PDH Fireworks. Enter PDH Fireworks in the My Rewards section of the Patriot app to get rewarded. Again, today's My Rewards code, PDH.
Ha. Have your monthly telephone costs been on the rise? Are you looking for better ways to communicate with your customers and remote employees? Or perhaps you're planning to move or expand your business? Ideacom Communications Group can help. Ideacom is a local, reputable company with the experience to provide a solution that's right for your business. Get the guys from Ideacom on your team by calling them today at 973-857-4440. That's one call that'll save you time and money. We return here for the top of the 5th inning. First pitch to Luis Cruz is fouled off to the backstop, 0-1. It's Efrain Nieves who's back out on the mound for the Patriots. Nieves was at 82 pitches through the first 4 innings, so he comes back out for the 5th. He'll go against the middle of the order for the Revs, Luis Cruz, Telvin Nash, and Michael Burgess. The 0-1 here to Cruz, misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it's in a bit of an emotional start here for Efrain Nieves, as he will be, after tonight's ball game, going back to Puerto Rico. Fastball here misses upstairs, 2-1. Just for a couple of days, he's still set for the postseason for the Patriots. He'll be depended upon as a starting pitcher. But Nieves has family down in Puerto Rico that were affected by Hurricane Irma, which is quickly coming up through the Caribbean. 2-1 here to Cruz, swung on and missed, 2-2. So Nieves will be heading down to Puerto Rico for a couple of days to make sure that everything's in order with his family. I talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he said that everything was going all right for the time being. So hopefully all of the Nieves family and everyone down there in Puerto Rico and throughout the Caribbean are doing all right after the devastation of Hurricane Irma. I know that Florida is right now in full preparation mode. Supposed to probably hit Florida, sometime later tonight or tomorrow. 2-2 here to Luis Cruz, misses upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So our thoughts are certainly with everyone in the Caribbean and everyone in Florida who are about to be affected or who have been affected or their families have been affected by Hurricane Irma. 3-2 here to Cruz is fouled off. Of course, we're still thinking about everyone who was affected down in southeastern Texas and a little bit of Louisiana. And in that general area, everyone who was affected by Hurricane Harvey. A couple of really tough hurricanes bringing some absolute devastation to different areas, both in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. So certainly thinking of everyone in those regards. 3-2 to Luis Cruz, misses inside, ball 4. So Cruz draws a leadoff walk here in the top of the 5th inning. That'll bring Telvin Nash to the plate. So Nieves will be traveling down to Puerto Rico afterwards. It's unclear as of right now whether he'll be available for his next turn in the rotation. But the Patriots have options in their rotation should Nieves need to miss a start. You have Jerome Williams, Patrick Johnson, who made a spot start against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in Thursday's doubleheader. He would be available to make another spot start if need be. Connor Root could always make a spot start in a situation like that. Fastball here to Telvin Nash, misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So we'll see what the rotation looks like the next time around. I mean, the Patriots also have an off day on Monday, their first off day in a while. The 1-0 misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. So that'll give Brett an opportunity to push his rotation back a little bit if need be. But now we're getting closer to the time where you got to think about how you want to line up your postseason rotation. Game 1 of the playoffs will take place on Wednesday, September 20th. So you want to make sure that whoever is going to be your Game 1 starter is rested and ready to go for that Wednesday ball game. Likely will take place on Long Island against the Ducks. As this fastball to Telvin Nash misses outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And this is just me speculating, nothing concrete to go off of this, but right now if you're looking at who could potentially be the number 1 Game 1 starting pitcher for the Somerset Patriots, I think the front runner for that job is Will Oliver. 3-0, misses outside here to Telvin Nash, ball 4. That's now 3 consecutive walks allowed by Efrain Nieves. 2 to begin the 5th inning. He walked Jared Mitchell as the last batter of the 4th inning before Mitchell was thrown out trying to steal second base. But 3 consecutive walks allowed now by Nieves. That's 5 walks that he has allowed in today's ball game. It's the most walks that he's allowed in a single outing this season. The previous high was 4, which he did in back-to-back appearances back in early July, once against the Sugarland Skeeters and one against the Long Island Ducks. So it'll be Luis Cruz off of second base, Telvin Nash off of first. That's with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Michael Burgess coming to the plate. And the Revolution leading this ball game 5-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Revs. 1 run on 3 hits, and no errors for the Patriots. A long conversation on the mound between Patriots pitching coach Corey Dommel and Efrain Nieves. There is movement in the Patriots bullpen down the right field line. That looks to be Dwayne Belo that's starting to get loose. It's a left-handed relief pitcher. Somerset has 3 different southpaw relievers readily available: Justin Wright, Dwayne Belo, and Keith Hessler. So it looks like it's Belo who has the ability to go multiple innings if need be. He's been very strong as of late. But Nieves stays in the game. First pitch against the left-handed hitting Michael Burgess misses outside 1-0. But again, in terms of the postseason rotation, I would think right now that the favorite to be the Game 1 starter would be Will Oliver. He's pitched remarkably well in his last 2 starts. The 1-0 here to Burgess misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. He has the most Atlantic League postseason experience of any pitcher on this Patriots roster. And he has probably the most durability in terms of pitch count and availability to pitch on short rest on this rotation. Fastball here on the outside corner for a called strike to Burgess, 2-1. I mean, if you're thinking about potentially a 4-man rotation in the postseason, chances are you're looking at some combination of Nieves, Oliver, Irvin, and Mike Antonini. And then you also have Jerome Williams and Patrick Johnson available if need be. The 2-1 to Burgess is swung on and missed, 2-2. So Nieves, probably not a guy that would be going on 3 days rest if needed. Antonini's still working his way back and trying to prove that he's 100% healthy. So I don't know if Antonini would be available to pitch on 3 days rest. And then Lucas Irvin injured a hamstring earlier this season, and he's still not quite 100%. So Irvin being available for 3 days rest is a bit of a question mark as well. As this fastball is on the outside corner for a called third strike to Michael Burgess. 8th strikeout of the ballgame for Nieves. That ties a season high. 1 away now in the top of the 5th for Dyrone Verona. Still runners at first and second. Luis Cruz off of second, Telvin Nash off of first with 1 away. Revolution leading this ballgame 5-1. Pair of walks from Nieves earlier in this inning have those 2 runners aboard. And now Verona, who's 2 for 2, will step to the plate. Verona, a right-handed batter, hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. Fastball here misses outside, 1-0. He then hit a 2-out single, in the 3rd inning, which started off the rally, scored 1 batter later on a 2-out RBI double from Travis Witherspoon down the 3rd base line. The 1-0 on its way here from Nieves. Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. So with some question marks in the Patriots rotation in terms of who would be available to pitch on 3 days west, and you want to try to maximize your roster spots, probably by going with a 4-man rotation. I think all of that adds up to Will Oliver being the Game 1 starter. 1-1 misses outside. It rolls to the backstop. Bounces right back to Yovan Gonzalez, but not before Luis Cruz advances over to third and Telvin Nash to second. So hypothetically, say you go with Will Oliver as the Game 1 starting pitcher on Wednesday, September 20th. Then you have to, come up with the rotation after that point for a Game 2 starter, a Game 3 starter, and probably a Game 4 starter. And then if needed, on 3 days rest, Game 5 would come around on Sunday. And then if you get to that point, then that might be Will Oliver's opportunity. As the 2-1 to Verona is swung on and lifted foul down the 3rd baseline, 2-2. So then the strategy starts to take shape. All right, hypothetically, and this is all speculation on my part, nothing's confirmed yet with Brett Jody or any members of the Patriots coaching staff. But hypothetically, say you go Oliver Game 1, and then who do you want Game 2? You want to have a solid chance in Game 3 and then potential, elimination games. And, Game 3 could be an elimination game, and then Games 4 and 5 are certainly possibly elimination games. 2-2 to Verona, misses low and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So under that thought, maybe you go, it's a tough call, because you also have to think about potentially setting things up for the championship series if you're able to advance that far. Maybe you go Oliver, Nieves, Antonini, Irvin, or maybe Irvin, Antonini, and then back to Oliver. 3-2, grounded down the first base line. It's a fair ball. Infield was drawn in. It'll roll all the way into the right field corner. 2 runs are going to score. Rounding second base, heading for third is Dyrone Verona, and he will arrive safely. And now Verona just a double shy of the cycle. A 2-run triple here in the top of the 5th inning. And the Revolution lead 7-1 over the Patriots. Verona now 3 for 3 with 5 runs batted in. He has been at the center of all of these rallies for the Revolution. And that looks to end the day for Efrain Nieves. Not able to get through the 5th inning. Nieves right now at 101 pitches. Brett Jody will come out to the mound, and Nieves will hand the ball off, and that will end the day for Efrain Nieves. So we'll take a break for the pitching change. New pitcher will come on when we return on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com. YMCA plays here at TD Bank Ballpark as the Patriots fans continue to be entertained despite a score that might not be too favorable here for Somerset. It is a 7-1 lead for the York Revolution. 7 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Revs. 1 run on 4 hits and no errors for the Somerset Patriots. Very impressive day so far for Dyrone Verona. He leads off at third base. He is just a double shy of the cycle. A 3-run home run in the first inning, a 2-out single in the third, and now a 2-run triple down the first base line here in the 5th. And the Revs lead is 7-1. Still just 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. And it is Dwayne Bilo who is now on the mound here for the Patriots. So the evening has come to a close for Efrain Nieves. The book not yet closed because Verona leads off of third base. But Nieves only goes 4 1/3 innings. He allows 6 hits, at least 7 runs, 5 walks, and 8 strikeouts. A lot of crooked numbers there for Nieves. First pitch here from Dwayne Bilo comes in to Travis Witherspoon. He swings over a breaking ball and falls behind in the count 0-1. Bilo's been with the Patriots since the beginning of the season. 3 years of service at the major league level, 2 with the Detroit Tigers, 1 with the Miami Marlins. Witherspoon takes this breaking ball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Bilo's been rock solid for Somerset. He's 5-1 with a 3.06 earned run average. He has not allowed an earned run since August 16th. Game in which he allowed a run in a third of an inning against the Ducks. 1-1 to Witherspoon, swung on and missed, 1-2. He yielded an unearned run on August 21st against this same Revolution team, but including that appearance, 7 straight relief appearances for Bilo in which he has not allowed an earned run. The 1-2. Breaking ball lined into left field. It's going to drop in front of Olmo Rosario. That will allow Dyrone Verona to score from third base. Bilo allows the inherited run to come home and score. And now an 8-1 lead for the York Revolution. That's the second RBI of the ballgame for Travis Witherspoon. He had an RBI double in the third, now an RBI single here in the fifth. That run will be charged against Efrain Nieves. So that closes the book on Nieves. His final line, 4 1/3 innings, 4 1/3 innings, 8 runs, all earned, 6 hits, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. Not the start that Nieves was looking for. Now Bilo from the stretch. First pitch to Ryan Dent is swung on and missed. 0-1. Dent's 1 for 2 today. Had a base hit in the second inning. Grounded out to short in third. This is already the third time through the lineup for the Revs. They've plated 8 runs on 7 hits with 5 walks so far. The 0-1 drops in for a called strike. 0-2. And a bit of a surprising outing here for Nieves. He had been so strong as of late for the Patriots. 7 of his last 9 starts have been quality outings for the second-year southpaw. The 0-2 misses low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was a tough luck loss his last time out against the Barnstormers. Tossed a complete game for the Patriots in a 7-inning ball game. He went 6 innings but took a loss after allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. Game in which the Patriots lost 2-0. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ryan Dent set down a swinging. 9th strikeout of the game for Patriots pitchers. And now that'll bring Chase Simpson to the plate. Simpson's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. An 8-1 York Revolution lead with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And for Nieves also, I mean, going over that stretch of his last 9 starts, in which 7 of them were quality starts, he had lowered his ERA from 5.25 to 3.02. As Bilo throws over to first base here. It's a very impressive stretch in which he only allowed 15 earned runs over 53 2/3 innings. That's a 2.52 ERA over his last 9 starts. But that'll, unfortunately for Nieves, be on the rise here after he struggles mightily in his home start against the York Revolution. Bilo from the stretch. First pitch here misses outside to Chase Simpson, a switch hitter batting from the right side. 1 ball and no strikes. Travis Witherspoon leads off of first. Certainly a stolen base threat. He ranks 4th all-time for the Revolution in stolen bases with 52. He's got 18 steals so far this season. And this is just his 2nd season with the Revs. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Simpson out in front of that breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Witherspoon did not begin last season with the Revolution, but when he came over, certainly made a name for himself. And again, now pretty much just a year and a half into his Revolution career, already 4th all-time in stolen bases. He's held on at first by Carlos Guzman. 1-1 to Simpson's fouled off. Actually began the season last year with the Lancaster Barnstormers, played in 34 games with them. Stole 7 bases over those 34 games, but then played in 81 games with the York Revolution and stole 34 bases in those 81 games. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away, top of the 5th inning. Already 3 runs home in this inning for the Revs. They lead 8-1. 1-2 pitch coming from Bilo. Fouled off, and Simpson able to stay alive. Witherspoon was also a Freedom Division All-Star last year, went 0 for 2. And then this season he was on the All-Star team as well, went 2 for 3. Was not a starter, but came into the ballgame. Went 2 for 3, also scored a pair of runs. One-two on its way from Bilo. Misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Witherspoon really hasn't even been an everyday player for the York Revolution this season. I mean, there's been plenty of times when Alonzo Harris had been starting in the outfield because initially, the Revolution, they had Alexi Casilla, former major leaguer, was playing along the infield. He was a second baseman. So when Casilla was playing in the infield, Alonzo Harris was shifted out to the outfield, and Witherspoon wound up losing some playing time. 2-2 to Simpson, swing and a miss, strike 3. 10th strikeout for the Patriots pitching staff, but the The Revolution, they plate 3 runs here in the top of the 5th inning, and they lead 8-1. Bottom of the 5th coming up next on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
The 7th birthday for George Messner.
Insurance is a complicated subject. Add a language barrier and it's just a disaster. My name is Melissa Estevez and I work for Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey at Horizon Connect. I love my job because I'm able to connect with the people. Once they realize they can come here and speak to someone in Spanish, they keep coming. Health insurance is very complicated, especially today. I love making it simple for people. It's something that makes me feel fulfilled.
Looking for incredible savings and selection on leading brands of furniture and bedding? Visit Flemington Department Store. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Our 2-acre showroom features the brands you want, all at exceptional values. Flemington's highly trained furniture experts are not on commission, so you can experience a pressure-free and informative shopping experience. Come explore the best-kept secret in New Jersey at the Flemington Department Store on Route 31 in Flemington.
Trune Associates is the sponsor of the lawn seating area in the ballpark. At Trune Associates, you'll find more than a wide variety of competitive insurance products. You'll find people who understand your needs. Trune Associates is a team of licensed professionals who care about their clients. Logan Williamson will stay on the mound for the York Revolution as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is an 8-1 lead for the Revs. 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for York. 1 run on 3 hits. And no errors for the Patriots. Certainly not how they envision tonight's ball game going, especially after such a clean, efficient game last night and a 6-0 shutout victory over the Revs. But now in the bottom of the 5th, it'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters due up for the Patriots. Devontre Richardson, followed by Carlos Guzman and Olmo Rosario. Richardson's 0 for 1 today, grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. First pitch here from Logan Williamson. It's in for a strike. 0-1. Williamson, a southpaw from the windup here, the 0-1. Misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Richardson now 0 for 5 against the York Revolution. He went 0 for 4 last night, dropping his average down to .310 on the year. Grounds this one to the left side. Ranging over is the third baseman Simpson. Cuts it off and throws it on to first in time. There's 1 away. So a bit of a slump here for Devontre Richardson. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the 5th inning. And now Carlos Guzman will step to the plate and still looking for, a silver lining and a storyline in this ballgame despite the Patriots trailing by 7 runs. Well, Carlos Guzman just 2 hits away from the 1,000th hit of his professional career. He's 0 for 1 so far. Grounded out to first base in his first at bat. First pitch here from Logan Williamson drops in for a strike, 0-1. On its way. Line drive into center field, a base hit for Carlos Guzman. Now 1 hit shy of 1,000 in his professional career. A solid line drive single into center field. That's just the 4th hit of the ballgame for the Somerset Patriots. Guzman will lead off at first base as he gives his batting gloves over to Roy Lawrence, who is using his My Rewards points to coach first, and he continues to coach first over there. A longtime Somerset Patriots season ticket holder. So now Guzman will lead off at first base. Olmo Rosario will step to the plate. Rosario had an infield single his last time up. He has scored the only run of the game for the Patriots. First pitch here to Rosario misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. Had an infield single, then advanced over to second base on a throwing error from the second baseman Alonzo Harris. The 1-0. And at the knees for a called strike, 1-1. Rosario's played well against the York Revolution. He's now playing in his 11th game against the Revs. He's hitting .341 against a team that he was formerly rivals of. 1-1, grounded over towards the middle, over the second base bag, and into center field. Back-to-back singles to center for the Somerset Patriots. One for Carlos Guzman, one for Olmo Rosario. And I will see if the Patriots can start the rally here. Still trailing by 7, but, you know, still plenty of time left in this ballgame. We've seen some big innings from the Patriots already this year. Their largest come-from-behind victory, however, that was all the way back on May 22nd against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. It was a 4-run come-from-behind victory for the Patriots. And that is held to this point. Right now, Somerset trails by 7, so if we could see a comeback from the Patriots today, it would be their largest quite easily of the year. First pitch to Jovan Gonzalez, misses inside, 1-0. Gonzalez had an infield single his last time up. Ground ball that deflected off the shin of Logan Williamson and ricocheted to the right side of the infield. The 1-0. Base misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. There's a right-handed reliever now getting loose in the bullpen for the Revolution down the left field line. And that will bring the pitching coach, Paul Fletcher, for the Revolution out to the mound to have a conversation with Williamson. Williamson has been pretty efficient with his pitch count. In fact, right now he is at 71 pitches in the game. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, I'm sure he would, at the very least, like to work his way through the 5th inning. He is right now nursing a 7-run lead. And it's been a bit of a winless drought for Williamson. He has not won a ball game since August 3rd. It's been 6 straight starts for Williamson in which he has not earned a win. That includes a no decision he received on August 19th after tossing 7 scoreless innings. Pitch here to Jovan Gonzalez at the knees for a called strike. Williamson has 5 wins on the season compared to 9 losses. But he's been strong so far tonight. He's allowed just 1 run. It's been unearned. 2-1 on its way here to Jovan Gonzalez. Grounded up the middle, over goes Harris. Fields to second for 1. It's bobbled and dropped by Ryan Dent. And everyone will be safe. Well, it seemed as though that was a tailor-made double play. Should have gone 4-6-3, and the inning probably should be over. Instead, after Harris underhand tossed it over to Dent covering the second base bag, Dent bobbled the ball and dropped the ball. And it wasn't on a transfer, it was just a flat-out drop. It'll go down as an E6. So it's a fielder's choice for Gonzalez, which advances him over to first base. Rosario safe at second on the E6. And Carlos Guzman has made his way over to third. So the bases are loaded here for the Patriots. And Alfredo Rodriguez at the plate. Rodriguez hit his first home run of the season in last night's ball game. First pitch here from Williamson. It misses upstairs, 1-0. Now 1 swing of the bat and a clutch hit here from Alfredo Rodriguez would put the Patriots right back into this ball game. Outfield plays shaded slightly towards right field against the right-handed hitting Rodriguez. Infield at double play depth. The 1-0. Breaking ball, inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Rodriguez has not recorded an official at bat yet today. Drew a walk in the first inning, sacrifice fly to left field in the third. He has the lone run batted in of the ball game for the Patriots. Been swinging a hot bat as of late. Hits in his last 4, 9 of his last 16 from the plate. Breaking ball here, misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Justin Trapp awaits on deck. Trapp had a pair of RBI singles yesterday. It's the top of the order right now for Somerset. So these are the guys you want at the plate when you're looking to mount a comeback in front of a strong crowd on hand for a post-game fireworks show. The 2-1. In there for a called strike, 2-2. It's Guzman off of third, Rosario off of second, and Gonzalez off of first. The Patriots trail 8-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning, but Logan Williamson laboring a bit here. An opportunity for the Patriots to get right back in it. Williamson will work from the stretch. The southpaw checks the runners. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A breaking ball in the dirt. Rodriguez swung at ball 3. He went chasing. Big strikeout there for Williamson. That's his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Now there's 2 out. Base is still loaded, and up to the plate will come Justin Trapp. Trapp's 0 for 2 today. Flew out to center field in the 1st. Grounded into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play in the 3rd, right after the Rodriguez sacrifice fly. First pitch here to Trapp misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, I think when you're trailing by 7 and you have a bases loaded opportunity in the 5th, you got to at least get 1 run home to start your comeback. The 1-0 to Trapp. Misses low and inside at 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Trapp has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 ball games. He had a 7-game hit streak come to a close in Game 2 of Thursday's doubleheader against the Blue Crabs. But over his last 9, Trapp is hitting .459 from the plate. That's 17 for 37. He's 0 for 2 so far today, but this is certainly a good opportunity to get back on the hit column. The 2-0. In there for a strike. 2-1. In addition to that, Trapp has enjoyed a, really just a strong overall season for the Patriots. He's reached base safely in 23 of his last 26. He's got an average going into today of .312. He won't become a qualified batter this season, but he's been a big-time addition. The 2-1. Line foul over the backstop and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the ball ricochets around and eventually finds a fan down behind home plate. I mean, Trapp has been big both at the plate and his versatility in the field, playing second, playing short, in left and center and right. And I think he's sort of settled down as a right fielder now for the Patriots moving forward. That's my estimation. The 2-2 misses well outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. The merry-go-round will be in motion. No place to put Trapp. It's Guzman at 3rd, Rosario at 2nd, and Gonzalez at 1st. The bases are loaded with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Patriots trailing this ball game 8-1. We saw a couple of very strong throws from Justin Trapp in right field last night. I think that's going to be his position moving forward. But we'll see. He could play a number of different positions. Willian from the stretch, the 3-2. Low and inside, ball 4. Justin Trapp draws a bases loaded walk. And the Patriots are within 6. Guzman scores from 3rd. It's now an 8-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So that'll at least get the 1 run home as the Patriots continue their comeback effort. And that'll likely do it for Logan Williamson. He was a strike away from getting out of this inning and qualifying for a victory. And he yells into his glove on the mound. He is very frustrated with himself. He will not have an opportunity to qualify for the win, despite the Revs still leading by 6 runs. And we will have a pitching change as the bases remain loaded. With 2 out in the bottom of the 5th, Patriots trail by 6. All that coming up next on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com. Welcome back to TD Bank Ballpark. 8-2 is our score in favor of the York Revolution. There's a new pitcher out on the mound now for the Revs as the day has come to a close for Logan Williamson. Looks like that is Joe Van Meter, who is now on the mound here. So it'll be up to Joe Van Meter to keep the Revs in front by a decent margin. Bases are loaded. It'll be Tony Thomas who will step to the plate here for the Somerset Patriots with the bases loaded. And an opportunity here for Thomas to get the Patriots even closer. It'll be Omo Rosario at third base, Jovan Gonzalez at second, and Justin Trapp at first when Thomas will step to the plate. Thomas is 1 for 2 today in his first game in front of the Patriots faithful here at TD Bank Ballpark. Had a base hit to left field in the first inning, flew out to right field in the fourth. An 8-2 Revolution lead, 8 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors now for the Revs. 2 runs on 5 hits, and no errors for the Somerset Patriots. Joe Van Meter is 6'2", right-handed pitcher from Richmond, Virginia. He's 1-2 on the season with a 2.71 ERA. 58 strikeouts over 56 and a third innings of work. He's a part of a strong York Revolution bullpen. And he has come on to face Tony Thomas here in a big situation in this ballgame. If Van Meter can get out Thomas, it maintains a strong 6-run lead for the Revs. But if Thomas is able to come through, the dangerous Kyle Roller awaits on deck. First pitch to Thomas. Outside corner for a called strike 0-1. And this would be a nice moment for Thomas to introduce himself a little better to this Patriots fan base. Coming over from the St. Paul Saints, he has 18 home runs this season, all in the American Association. 1 RBI so far as a member of the Patriots. Came in the most recent series against the Blue Crabs. The 0-1. Grounded over towards second. In front of it is Alonzo Harris. He shifts it over to second base, and that retires the side. So Meter comes on, gets a big timeout, and that retires the side. And Strands, the base is loaded. 1 run comes home on 2 hits with 1 error and 3 runners left on base. Patriots trail 8-2 as we move to the 6th on 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.
Visit BellariDesign.com to learn more today.
Nothing is more important than your child's education. The Somerset County Education Association represents the public school employees that make your child's education possible. This includes more than 7,000 teachers, paraprofessionals, bus drivers, nurses, custodians, secretaries, and other outstanding education support professionals. Visit www.sceanj.org for more information. Together, we can prepare our children for the future.
And the answer is C. Runner scores, batter runner to second.
Marine, nice try. But you know what? We're going to send you to Game 3 of the Liberty Division Series playoffs in 2 weeks' time, Friday, September 22nd. Anyway, congratulations. Let's hear from Marine. Everybody, good job.
Diamond Nation, located in Flemington, New Jersey, is the premier baseball and softball facility in the Northeast and is home to the Jack Cuss Baseball and Jenny Finch Softball Academies. Diamond Nation is a top draw for prominent youth, teen, and high school tournaments and is dedicated to providing top-flight instruction, private lessons, and outstanding camps for individuals and teams. Visit us at DiamondNation.com. It's an 8-2 lead for the Revolution. We move to the top of the 6th inning here at TD Bank Ballpark. Mark Schwartz on 1450 WCTC. Mike Lawrence running the boards back in Somerset. We have the ESPN.TV crew as well. Chris Drabick running the direction of tonight's broadcast. Jonathan Danica running the cameras. And a man that probably hates me right now, Ed Fagan, running the scoreboard, the stats, and the analytics for tonight's broadcast. Dwayne Belo comes back on the mound, and the first pitch to the leadoff batter, Alonzo Harris, is swung on and missed. 0-1. Mike Sanfilippo, running the boards back at our WCTC studios. I apologize if I said the wrong Mike, as Harris swings and misses here on a breaking ball from Dwayne Below. No balls and 2 strikes. We do have the final line for Logan Williamson, as he comes just short of qualifying for victory. 0-2 to Harris, check swing, ground ball foul down the first base line. No balls and 2 strikes. Logan Williamson winds up going 4 2/3 innings. He allows 2 runs, none of them are earned. 5 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Comes 1 out shy of qualifying for victory. 0-2 from Below. Grounded softly towards short, charging in is Rodriguez. A quick throw to first base, but Harris beats it out for an infield single. Harris, one of the fastest guys in the Atlantic League. He sniffed out an infield single from the get-go, hustled down the first base line, and was able to beat out an otherwise strong throw from Alfredo Rodriguez. And a leadoff base runner for the Revs here in the top of the 6th inning. So it'll be Harris off of first base. He'll be held on by Carlos Guzman. That's his first hit of the ball game. He's now 1 for 3. Also drew a walk back in the 2nd. This is now the 4th time through the lineup for the Revs. They have 8 runs on 9 hits, compared to 2 runs on 5 hits for the Patriots. As Mitchell fouls this one off to the backstop, 0-1. Well, we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard again in the Atlantic League. There's some interesting scores currently going on. The game probably of the most interest right now to the York Revolution is the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs versus Sugarland Skeeters game. And right now it's the Blue Crabs that are leading the Barnstormers now 10-7 in the top of the 7th inning. The 0-1. Grounded over towards second, it could be 2. Thomas to Rodriguez to first in time. A 4-6-3 double play. Mitchell runs well, but Rodriguez able to turn that ball quickly over to first base. And it's a big double play ground out turned by the Patriots. That's the first double play that the Revolution have grounded into today. So 2 out, nobody on here in the top of the 6th inning. And that'll bring Luis Cruz to the plate. Again, a 10-7 lead for the Blue Crabs. There's 26 combined hits in that ball game. Blue Crabs have a runner at second base with 1 away in the top of the 7th over at Clipper Magazine Stadium. First pitch here from Dwayne Below, swung on and foul tipped by Luis Cruz, 0-1. And knowing how that ballpark plays over there in Lancaster, that game is far from over. But a big day at the plate for the Blue Crabs. Big day for Devin Rodriguez. He has 3 RBI. Tucker Nathans has 3 RBI for the Blue Crabs as well. Both starting pitchers are out of that ball game. But there's 2 other games that are currently going on in the Atlantic League as well. 0-1 here from Below. Misses upstairs to the right-handed hitting Cruz, 1-1. The Sugarland Skeeters are leading the New Britain Bees 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning at New Britain Stadium. So as it currently stands, this would be a pretty rough night for the Lancaster Barnstormers. The 1-1 drops in for a strike, 1-2. Barnstormers had a good day yesterday getting themselves back into first place, but if all of these scores hold, if the Revs hold on to their lead, the Skeeters hold on to their lead, and the Barnstormers fail to make a comeback, Lancaster would drop out of first place. It would be the Revs back into first place. 1-2 to Cruz, just misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And also, Sugarland would then move up a game against the Barnstormers. They would then be in 3rd place, 2.5 behind the Revs, which is 2 games behind Lancaster. The 2-2. Swing and a missed strike 3. Below strikes out Cruz, and that retires the side. 11th strikeout for the Patriots pitchers. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. To the bottom of the 6th, Patriots trail 8-2 on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
I would imagine behavioral health care would be,
Behavioral health care?
Heard of it, but I don't know.
I really couldn't tell you the difference.
help with their emotional and mental health.
I'm not really sure.
Carrier Clinic thinks differently about behavioral health care, applying new scientific advances to treat mental illness and addiction, replacing routine care programs with alternative treatments and new measurable levels of compassionate care. For the best in behavioral health care, think Carrier.
Welcome to the brand new Somerset Patriots app.
What is an app? Everything Somerset Patriots, all at your fingertips. The Patriots My Rewards program. Download this free app today at the Apple Store or Google Play. I might not know what an app is, but this one is really fun.
Looking for a new or used car? There's no better place than the Flemington Car and Truck Country family of brands, located on routes 202 and 31 in Flemington, or at Flemington.com. There you'll find a family-centered organization ready to take care of all of your automotive needs, as they have done since 1976. An 8-2 lead for the York Revolution as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning here at TD Bank Ballpark. The final Saturday night fireworks game of the 2017 season. 8 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Revs. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Patriots. This is our fifth to last home game of the regular season. We'll finish up the series against the Revolution tomorrow for a Sunday fun day here. First 1,000 fans will receive camouflage baseballs presented by the Basilone Memorial Foundation. Also run the bases before the, autograph session before the game, run the bases after the game. There'll be a helicopter drop on the field immediately after the game, and an AARP movie night featuring Beauty and the Beast to be played at the ballpark starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Kyle Roller at the plate, first pitch swinging, fouls it off down the third base line, and it will just get out of play. And the count 0-1. So a lot going on this weekend. We'll then have 3 more games next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when the Patriots welcome in the New Britain Bees. It'll be the first time in a while that we will have seen the Bees. That includes a Thursday night fireworks show in the final game of the regular season at home. And the Patriots will play 3 games in Bridgeport against the Bridgeport Bluefish to wrap up the entire regular season. 0-1 to Rollers, fouled off. Joe Van Meter back on the mound, by the way, for the Revolution. No balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Kyle Roller, who's 0 for 2 today. The 3 games in Bridgeport will be likely the final 3 games ever played at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, as the Bluefish will cease operations after the conclusion of this season. The 0-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. Kyle Roller is now 0 for 3. He is 0 for 7 so far in this series. Uncharacteristic for Roller. There's 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning now for Mark Minikazi. Minikazi's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. There has been some exciting news that was announced in the Atlantic League. Of course, it's been known for some time now that the Bridgeport Bluefish will not be coming back for the 2018 season, but the Atlantic League has found a replacement. As the first pitch to Minikazi, lined to first, but caught on a fly by Michael Burgess, and there's 2 away. The replacement for the Bluefish, it'll go down to High Point, North Carolina. Bluefish will move down there for the 2019 season. Now, the Atlantic League has not made any announcement just yet on what will happen for the Bluefish franchise for the 2018 season. That's still to be determined. Certainly a couple of options available. As the first pitch now to the right-handed hitting Devontre Richardson drops in for a strike, 0-1. But the Bluefish will move down to High Point, North Carolina for 2019. The league is very excited about what's going on down there. As this pitch to Richardson misses inside, 1-1. I believe that general area where High Point is located in North Carolina, I believe that's called the Triad area. There's a lot going on there. There's already a couple of minor league teams. The Winston-Salem Dash are down there, as the 1-1 misses low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Charlotte Knights play over in Charlotte, North Carolina as well. But now High Point will add a team. They have a brand new ballpark That's going to be added to their downtown area in High Point. And the Atlantic League will be a featured member of that. The 2-1 in for a called strike, 2-2. There's no word yet on whether the team will retain the name the Bluefish, though I imagine they'll probably switch names. But still very exciting for the Atlantic League to move down to that area of the country. 2-2 is grounded foul. I imagine that'll likely set up in terms of travel arrangements. They'll set up the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs as a travel partner of whichever team's located in High Point. But that is a long drive. I mean, even here, going from Somerset down to High Point is pretty considerable drive. I believe it's about 9 hours to get down that way. The 2-2 to Richardson is popped up along the infield, foul territory. First base side, Burgess comes in, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So we'll talk a little bit more about Atlantic League expansion when we come back for the top of the 7th inning. Patriots trail 8-2 on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
Last call for 50-50 tickets. Last call for 50-50 tickets up on the concourse. We are closing in on $2,000. Last call, ladies and gentlemen. The Patriots have made a pitching game brought to you by Providence Bank. On the mound for the Patriots, John
Well, I know that I mentioned that we're going to talk about Atlantic League expansion when we came back, and I will talk about it, but a bigger storyline that pertains to this game and this Somerset Patriots season right now has come back onto the mound. It is Big John Hunton who enters this ball game now for the Somerset Patriots, and it is great to see Hunton back into the game and back on the field for the Patriots. He was placed on the inactive list way earlier in the season. It was in a series against the Long Island Ducks where he injured his bicep. That came all the way back on June 24th. He was activated earlier today, and he is on the mound here for the Patriots. The third pitcher used today by Somerset. Nieves wound up going 4 1/3. Dwayne Bilo went the next inning and 2/3. And now it is John Hunton who has come on the mound. Obviously, it's not a safe situation as the Patriots trail 8-2, but it is great to see Big John Hunton on the mound. Again, he had been working tirelessly to get back onto the mound. He did not want his potential career to end while he was on the disabled list. He threw a bullpen session in Southern Maryland a couple of days ago. Got the go-ahead from Corey Dommel and Brett Jody. And now he's on the mound, and the first pitch he delivers is a fastball to the cleanup batter, Telvin Nash. And the count 0-1. So John Hunton stands at 6'9", 255 pounds. He's on the hill. The 0-1, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Nash, Burgess, and Verona to work against the greatest closer in Atlantic League history. That's not hyperbole. That's just a fact. Hunton, a mainstay for this Somerset Patriots team. Earlier this year, he was voted on as the number 4 greatest Patriot of all time in this season's top 20 countdown. Nash fouls this one off over the backstop and out of play. So the count holds at 0-2. This season, Hunton's only made 11 appearances. He did not begin the year active for the Patriots as he was working his way back from some off-season work. His first game with the Patriots this season was on May 14th. He then wound up pitching for the Patriots for about a month, May 14th to June 22nd. Fastball here just misses low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Over that span, did not have the most amount of success, wound up having a 5.0 earned run average. But the main reason for that was one appearance that he made against the Long Island Ducks, a blown save on May 19th, in which he allowed 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 walks in 2/3 of an inning. That's why his ERA was so high. Other than that, he only allowed a run in 3 of his 11 appearances. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. John Hunton comes back and strikes out the first batter that he faces. Now we get the John Hunton song. That's something we haven't heard here at TD Bank Ballpark for a while. You have to go all the way back to June 16th, the last time we heard the Big John song. So certainly great to see. That's now the 12th strikeout for the Patriots pitchers. 1 out, nobody on, and Michael Burgess will come to the plate. But, I mean, Hunton, such an integral part of this team over the last number of years. One of the greatest players in Atlantic League history. First pitch here to Michael Burgess, his former teammate, grounded sharply to second base. Fielded by Tony Thomas, who flips it on to first. And there's quickly 2 away. Here's the song. There we go. Big Bad John. So there's 2 out, nobody on, top of the 7th inning. Hunton looking for a successful inning in his return to the mound. Hunton's first year with the Patriots was in 2008. Appeared for the championship in that 2008 season, and then the rest is really history after that point. First pitch to Tyrone Verona, a double away from the cycle. Misses low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Set an Atlantic League record with 49 saves in 2014. He was named the closer of the year for his performance, which included just a 2.08 earned run average. Finished second in the Atlantic League in saves in 2015. Led the league in saves in 2016 last year. As Verona fouls this one off, 1-1. A 2-time Atlantic League All-Star. He has saved 30 or more games in each of his last 4 seasons. He's not going to hit that number this year. He has just 2 saves with the Patriots. But he had 37 saves last year, which helped him lead the league and break the all-time saves record, previously held by Southern Maryland's Jim Ed Warden. Finished the year with 167 saves. Verona bloops this one to second, a leaping catch by Tony Thomas, and that retires the side. And John Hunton, in his return to the mound, works a scoreless 1-2-3, top of the 7th inning. Patriots still trail by 6, but a successful inning for Hunton will stretch and head to the bottom of the 7th on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
We the people are tired of being surprised with extra monthly fees. We want HD and every box and DVR all included. Because we don't like surprises.
Yeah, it's like changing up the celebrity at the end to someone more handsome and talented.
Really?
And British.
Switch from cable to DirecTV. Get 4 rooms with HD, DVR, and every box included for $25 a month. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Mommy, can you help me get my jelly bean? It's stuck.
Sure, honey. Where?
In my ear.
From beans to bumps, we're ready for you. Hunterdon Healthcare Urgent Care. Hunterdon Healthcare, your full circle of care.
Attention Patriots fans, Bridgewater Diner is a proud sponsor of Somerset Patriots baseball. Located at 1244 Route 22 in Bridgewater, it is just a foul ball away from the ballpark. Bridgewater Diner is a great place to meet and eat. Stop by the Bridgewater Diner before or after the game and enjoy great food and company. There's a new pitcher in the ballgame here for the Revs as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. But a big storyline coming up here. Carlos Guzman will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. He is 1 hit shy of 1,000 hits in his professional career. He has a hit earlier today. A hit here could do it. First pitch to Guzman. Breaking ball drops in for a strike, 0-1. It's not a new pitcher. Actually, Joe Van Meter has remained in this ball game. So Guzman at the plate. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, talking to Guzman, he is well aware that he is close to the hit number 1,000. He's ready for it, and he's 1 hit away right here. Infield plays straight up. Van Meter comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Revolution are leading this ball game 8-2. Nobody on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Carlos Guzman at the plate here, looking for hit number 1,000. The 2-1. Fouled off to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty much every time I've spoken with Carlos after a game over the last couple of weeks, he'll just put up a number of fingers to me indicating how many he's away from number 1,000. And right now, he would only need to put up 1 finger because he is 1 hit away. At a 2-2 count against the right-handed throwing Joe Van Meter, who's pitched well since coming into this ballgame. Van Meter will come set. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Guzman followed by Olmo Rosario and Yovan Gonzalez here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Patriots trailing by 6 runs. But a good crowd on hand potentially to see Guzman's 1,000th hit. Van Meter from the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle. It deflects off of Van Meter's shin. Rolls to his right. Underhand toss to first is in time. And Guzman will have to await at least 1 more at-bat to see hit number 1,000. And at the rate that this game is going, I might have to wait until tomorrow. Guzman slowly walks back to the dugout down the first base line. If Van Meter didn't get hit by that ground ball, by the way, the training staff will now come out to the mound to make sure that Van Meter's all right. But if that ball does not hit Van Meter in the shin, it rolls it to center field, and Carlos Guzman has hit number 1,000. Instead, it is a 1-3 putout. So Guzman now 1 for 3 today. Van Meter will stay in the ballgame, and Olmo Rosario will now step to the plate. Rosario is 2 for 2 so far. An infield single in the 3rd, a base hit in the 5th. 2 different times in this ballgame, he has also advanced the base on an error. Advanced to second on an E4 in the 3rd inning, and advanced to second in the 5th on an E6. Those are the 2 errors in the game for the Revolution. They lead 8-2, 8 runs, 9 hits for the Revs, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Pats. First pitch here to Rosario. At the knees for a called strike. Rosario disagrees for the count 0-1. So Van Meter stays in this ballgame. He's pitched well. He's tossed an inning and a 3rd scoreless. The 0-1. Misses low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Van Meter entered with the bases loaded and 2 out in the 5th inning. Logan Williamson was pulled from the game. Van Meter was going up against Tony Thomas. He forced Thomas to ground out. Then tossed a 1-2-3 6th. Breaking ball here to Rosario. Misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So a couple of storylines here. Carlos Guzman is a hit away from 1,000. And John Hunton tossed a scoreless inning of relief in his return to the mound in the top of the 7th inning. Breaking ball here from Van Meter to Rosario. Misses low and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So certainly great to see that from Hunton. But that's going to be the only inning that he tosses. There's a pitcher getting loose in the Patriots bullpen. Believe that's Ronnie Shaban down there that has been warming up. So we'll likely see a new pitcher on the mound for the 8th inning. 3-1 on its way to Rosario. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Jovan Gonzalez awaits on deck. Rosario has 2 hits, the only multi-hit game for the Patriots today. The 3-2. Misses low, ball 4. So that'll give the Patriots a base runner, and at this point, that's what they need. Can't hit a 6-run home run, so get the runners on base and try to start a rally. 3rd time that Rosario has been on base today. So 1 out, runner at first for Jovan Gonzalez, who's been on base twice. A base hit in the 3rd inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Wind still blowing slightly out towards center field here at TD Bank Ballpark on a beautiful evening for baseball. Absolutely love it. Starting to be a little bit more towards football weather. Right now it is 56 degrees here in Bridgewater. First pitch to Jovan Gonzalez in there for a called strike, 0-1. I'd like to thank all of the fans that were listening to the Rutgers game earlier today. If you've stuck around with us here for the Patriots game, very much appreciate it. Tough loss for Rutgers down the road in Piscataway. Dropping that ball game at home to Eastern Michigan, 16-13. 0-1 to Gonzalez is blooped out towards right center field. Over goes Alonzo Harris. He makes the catch. Rosario will retreat to first base, and now there's 2 away. So that'll bring Alfredo Rodriguez up. Rodriguez is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 5th inning, but drew a walk in the 1st, hit a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. It's been another strong day for Rodriguez. He struck out with runners at 2nd and 3rd his last time up. Sorry, he struck out with the bases loaded. Justin Trapp then drew a bases loaded walk to bring home a run. First pitch here to Rodriguez, misses low and inside, 1-0. It was an uncharacteristic strikeout for Rodriguez because he chased a ball that was considerably out of the strike zone. It was a curveball that was in the dirt from Logan Williamson. That gave Williamson his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Rosario takes off from first, pitch in for a strike, the throw down to second, and it's dropped by the second baseman Alonzo Harris. It was a strong, accurate throw from Luis Cruz, but Harris wasn't able to make the catch. Looked like it probably hit the shin of Omo Rosario, and had it not hit the shin of Rosario, it might have rolled into center field. But a stolen base for Rosario. That's his 15th stolen base of the year. He's now 15 for 19 along the base paths. He'll lead off of second with Rodriguez at the plate. 2 away, bottom of the 7th inning. Patriots trail 8-2. Justin Trapp awaits on deck. 1-1 on its way from Van Meter. Fastball, knee high, outside corner. Pitcher's pitch there from Joe Van Meter. Ball and 2 strikes. There's a righty getting loose in the Revolution bullpen. As they lead by 6. Won't necessarily be a safe situation just yet, but a very important game for the Revs as they are fighting for a playoff spot. 1-2 on its way. Fastball right down the middle, strike 3, and Rodriguez knew it. He's frustrated with himself. But that will retire the side. No runs for the Patriots, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. To the 8th, York leads 8-2 on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
What's better than winning Dealer Rater's Dealer of the Year award? Winning it back-to-back. That's right. Flemington Car and Truck Country is New Jersey's Dealer Rater Dealer of the Year 2 years in a row. So thank you to our customers for putting us on top again. Visit DealerRater.com to read our reviews. Over 1 million satisfied customers can't be wrong. 17 brands, 6,000 vehicles in 1 location. Flemington Car and Truck Country family of dealerships.
Proud to be the better way to buy.
Is your roof on your home or commercial building leaking or outdated or needs repair work? Homeowners, building owners, Thomas S. Bellardo Roofing installs all types of roofing, including large-scale commercial flat roof projects and shingles for your home. Thomas S. Bellardo Roofing, LLC is your local roofing experts, proudly serving Somerset County. Call us today at 732-560-7500 for more information, or visit thomassbelardoroofing.com. New pitcher now in the ballgame for the Patriots. John Hunted predictably only goes one inning, but a very successful inning of relief. And now that'll bring Justin Wright onto the mound. Wright will be the third different reliever used, fourth overall pitcher for the Patriots today. Efrain Nieves was the starting pitcher. He wound up allowing 8 runs over 4 1/3 innings. Not a great start for Nieves. Dwayne Bilo then tossed an inning in 2/3 scoreless. John Hunted with a scoreless 7th. And now Justin Wright will come on for the 8th as he works against Travis Witherspoon, Ryan Dent, and Chase Simpson. First pitch here from Justin Wright, swung on and missed. 0-1. Witherspoon is 2 for 3 today with a pair of runs batted in. Also had a double back in the 3rd inning. 8-2, the Revolution lead. It's been all Revs pretty much since the get-go in this one. A 4-run top of the 1st inning for York put them in front early, as Witherspoon takes this fastball upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. A solo home run from Jared Mitchell, 2 batters into the ballgame, followed by a 3-run home run from Dyrone Verona later in the inning, gave the Revs a 4-0 lead. York then added a run in the top of the 3rd inning on a Witherspoon 2-out RBI double. The Patriots got the run back on an Alfredo Rodriguez sacrifice fly to make it 5-1 at the time. The 1-1 here misses outside, 2-1. Then 3 more runs came on the board for the Revs in the 5th inning. A 2-run triple from Dyrone Verona, which chased Nieves from the ballgame. And then the very next batter was Witherspoon, who added an RBI single. That made it 8-1. Witherspoon here takes a breaking ball for a called strike. 2-2. Dwayne Bilo entered the game and allowed that base hit to Witherspoon, but after that, Patriots have shut down the Revs a bit over the last couple of innings. 2-2 here from Wright. Check swing. Did he go around? An appeal down to first base says that he did not, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, one game has already gone final in the Atlantic League. The Sugarland Skeeters, they have defeated the New Britain Bees 3-1. So a big win for Sugarland. They continue to play a solid brand of baseball. 3-2 to Witherspoon, misses upstairs, ball 4. That's the first walk allowed by the Patriots bullpen, but the 6th walk overall allowed by the Patriots today. 3rd time that Witherspoon's been on base. He's always the threat to take off, maybe not in a 6-run lead. But he'll lead off of first. That'll bring Ryan Dent to the plate. But the Sugarland Skeeters won their ball game 3-1 up at New Britain Stadium. And in the top of the 9th inning at Clipper Magazine Stadium, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs are holding on to a 10-7 lead over the Lancaster Barnstormers. The scoring in that game has slowed down considerably after it was a very high-scoring early portion. First pitch here from Justin Wright to the right-handed hitting Ryan Dent, misses upstairs 1-0. Fan in front of the broadcast booth trying to start the wave here. So Witherspoon leads off of first base, held on by Carlos Guzman. The 1-0 on its way. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. 1-1. That's actually Sparky the mascot who's trying to start the wave down the first base line, carrying it all the way here, right in front of the broadcast booth, and see if it wraps around. I've never been much of a fan of the wave, to be honest. The 1-1 here misses low and inside from Justin Wright. 2 balls and 1 strike. First and foremost for me, I've always viewed the wave as a bit of a safety hazard. That's just me. Because there's times where when you come to a ball game, you've got to be aware with every pitch. 2-1 here in for a called strike, 2-2. Especially in a place here like TD Bank Ballpark, there's not a bad seat in the house, which means pretty much every seat can receive a foul ball. Fan in front of me really enjoying this. Enjoying the wave. The 2-2 here to Dent, misses inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But when sometimes, at least my opinion, is that fans start looking at the wave and they take their eyes off the action on the field. And that is not really a recipe for success when that happens. That's always the first thing that pops into my head, at least when I see the wave. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice strikeout there from Justin Wright. Blows that one by Ryan Dent. 13th strikeout of the ballgame for Patriots pitching. A season high, staff high in a single game for the Patriots in strikeouts was 15, set back on August 13th. They're now 2 strikeouts away from tying that margin. So 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning, and Chase Simpson now at the plate. Travis Witherspoon continues to lead off of first, and Wright will throw over. But anyway, in that Blue Crabs game, a 10-7 lead for Southern Maryland. That's in the top of the 9th inning. So if the Blue Crabs can hold on, the Skeeters have already won, and the Rebs are leading by 6 runs here at TD Bank Ballpark. That would be a tough day for the Barnstormers, who would fall out of first place under that situation. And Sugar Land would remain in shouting distance of first place. You can't count them out just yet. They would be 2.5 games out of first with a week left in the season. Breaking ball here from Wright, misses low. 1 ball and no strikes to Simpson, who right now is 0 for 3. He's a strikeout away from the Golden Sombrero. We've seen 1 Platinum Sombrero this season. Zach Cohn. Was it Zach Cohn? No, it was Quentin Berry of the Long Island Ducks. Had a Platinum Sombrero in a game earlier this season. The 1-0. Fouled off by Simpson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fan making a nice catch on that foul ball. So Simpson in danger of at least the Golden Sombrero. If you wanted to get to 5 strikeouts and 5 at-bats, it would be the Platinum Sombrero. And then 6 strikeouts and 6 at-bats is either the Titanium Sombrero or the Double Platinum Sombrero, or some people even call it a horn. The 1-1 swung on and missed, 1-2. I'm sure Ed Fagan, who's running our scoreboard for the ESPN broadcast, will certainly know the name Sam Horn, former Baltimore Oriole who struck out 6 times in 6 at-bats in a game with the Orioles back in 1991. And there's some people that will call a 0 for 6 with 6 strikeout game a horn, because he has an easy name that could be attached to many different things. As here Simpson swings through the breaking ball in the dirt, strike 3. A Golden Sombrero for Chase Simpson. I doubt he'll have a 5th plate appearance in this ballgame with the Rebs leading by 6, and we have 2 out here in the top of the 8th. But that's the 14th strikeout of the ballgame for the Patriots. 2 out, still a runner at first, and we'll move back to the top of the order and Alonzo Harris. Meanwhile, that Barnstormers game has moved over to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cody Epley will come on for the save opportunity. And he'll work against the 5, 6, 7 batters for the Barnstormers. First pitch here to Alonzo Harris at the knees for a strike 0-1. Harris is 1 for 3 today. He's also drawn a walk. This now is 5th plate appearance of the ballgame. Still rocking the lime green, almost neon-esque batting gloves, which pop next to the black uniform he's wearing. Breaking ball here in the dirt. It gets away from Gonzalez. A wild pitch will advance Travis Witherspoon into scoring position. I mean, that's almost like Yoenis Cespedes colored batting gloves. I don't think Cespedes ever wore the neon batting gloves, or maybe it was like batting gloves that had a neon accent to them, but it was more so the sleeve or the undershirt that would really pop for Cespedes. And Harris with the vibrant batting gloves, batting from the right side of the plate here against Justin Wright. There's 2 out in the top of the 8th inning, and the Patriots trailing the York Revolution 8-2. The 1-1 here from Wright, grounded over towards third, a sliding stop by Minikazi. To his feet, throws it over to first base to beat Harris. A nice play by Minikazi, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We will head to the bottom of the 8th, Patriots trailing by 6 on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
Patriots are the 2008 Atlantic League champions! watch the games cable gives us. We want all the teams, no matter where we live, with DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. We want Falcons in New York, Jets in LA, Bears in New Orleans, or Buccaneers in a quaint little New England bed and breakfast.
Can you please pass the marmalade, Charlie?
I sure can, Crazy Pirate.
Switch to DirecTV and get every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
For complete family eye care, go where the Patriots go. See Dr. I.B. Ehrlich and Dr. Martin Storbeck at the Bridgewater Optometric Center, located in Pearl Vision at the Somerset Shopping Center. Bridgewater Optometric Center is the official eye doctor of the Somerset Patriots. Bring in your Patriots ticket stub for an additional 5% discount. To the bottom of the 8th we go. The Somerset Patriots trailing the York Revolution 8-2. It'll be Justin Trapp to lead off. He'll be followed by Tony Thomas and then Kyle Roller with a new pitcher out on the mound here for the York Revolution. 2-3-4 batters due up here for the Patriots. First pitch to Trapp, swung on and drilled down the left field line. That's going to drop down, and it's going to three-hop against the wall, rattle around over there. And Justin Trapp able to jog into second base. And it's a leadoff double here for Justin Trapp as it comes against the new pitcher, Michael Click, on the mound here for the York Revolution. One of the major strengths of this Revolution team is their bullpen. Michael Click can certainly be included in that regard. He allows the leadoff double here to Justin Trapp, but Click otherwise has had a very strong season here for the Revolution. Click is 3-1 with a 2.59 ERA, over 53 appearances, 50 strikeouts in 52 innings. First pitch here to Tony Thomas. Oh, that's called a strike at the knees. Thought that might have been a bit low, but the count 0-1. It's the first hit of the ball game for Justin Trapp. He's now hit safely in 9 of his last 10 ball games. He leads off of second. Thomas is 1 for 3 today at a base hit back in the first inning. 0-1 from the righty Click. Fouled off over the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, I mentioned we were talking a little bit earlier in the broadcast about Atlantic League expansion. And I kind of got away from it because there's a couple of different storylines going on in this ball game. But I think it's worth talking about a little more. Also, I plugged in Google Maps, and it's about an 8.5-hour drive from TD Bank Ballpark down to the greater High Point, North Carolina area. So that would easily be the longest drive for the Patriots, as the first pitch here to Tony Thomas, the 1-2 to Thomas at the knees for a called strike. And Thomas set down looking. There's one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring Kyle Roller to the plate for his 4th plate appearance. So it would be the longest drive for the Patriots. Right now, the longest drive for any combination of team in the Atlantic League is when the New Britain Bees and the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs face off. It's about an 8-hour drive for those two teams, whether you're going from Waldorf to New Britain or New Britain to Waldorf. You got to go through a couple of pretty large metropolitan areas to do that drive. And it's roughly around 8 hours for those guys. First pitch fastball here to Kyle Roller, misses outside, 1-0. I mean, you got to go through New York City. You got to go around Philadelphia. You don't really hit Philadelphia metro area too much, but you got to go right through Washington, D.C. To get down to Waldorf, and right through Baltimore as well. Just riding down I-95. 1-0 here to Roller, misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. So it'll be interesting in terms of the travel once High Point joins the Atlantic League in 2019. And we still don't know exactly where the Bridgeport Bluefish are going to play next year, how that's going to work itself out for 2018. That's still to be determined. The Atlantic League will likely make an announcement a little later. Probably, I would imagine, during the offseason. The 2-0 here to Roller. Fouled off to the backstop, 2-1. But another takeaway out of the High Point expansion is there was a video that was posted of Frank Bolton. He's the chairman and owner of the Long Island Ducks and the Bridgeport Bluefish. And he's also the founder of the Atlantic League. And he gave a speech down at High Point University in North Carolina to really make the announcement that the Bridgeport Bluefish will effectively travel down and become High Point's team in 2019. But there was a couple of other interesting tidbits in that announcement. 2-1 here to Roller, misses low. 3 balls and 1 strike. One, he claimed and stated that the Atlantic League is still determined to expand the league from 8 teams to 12 teams. Now, that might not come as a huge surprise for longtime Atlantic League fans, notably, fans of the Somerset Patriots. The 3-1 here to Roller. It misses upstairs, ball 4. Kyle Roller draws a 1-out walk. So it's the first time that he'll be on base today. Runners at first and second now with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Patriots trailing 8-2. Mark Minikazi now will step to the plate. But for longtime fans of the Atlantic League, expansion's always been on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. I mean, Sugarland Skeeters joined the league in 2012, and when Sugarland joined, there was always the thought process, well, they're going to be joined by, a bunch of teams down in Texas. There'll be like a southern Texas kind of division, and that would make sense from a travels perspective. Now, of course, a team in Texas hasn't been added since Sugarland has come on. First pitch here to Minikazi, and at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. I mean, there's been talk and conversations about a couple of different places. Fort Worth, Texas has been in the conversation. The Woodlands has been in a conversation as well. The Woodlands is located as another suburb in the greater Houston area on the opposite side of Houston. Sugarland is a bit southwest of Houston. The Woodlands is northwest as Minikazi swings and lifts this one over towards left center field, and it's going to get down for an extra base hit. Trapp will score from second base. Roller is going to be waved home from third. There won't be a throw. Mark Minikazi comes through. It's a 2-run double here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Patriots are back on the scoreboard. The lead is trimmed in half. It's now an 8-4 margin with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. So that's the first hit of the ballgame for Mark Minikazi. A 2-run double. Now Devontre Richardson will step in. So Roller doing well. Glenn Barker, an aggressive third base coach, waved Roller all the way home from first base, but there wasn't even a throw made towards home. He was able to score quite easily. That's the 34th and 35th run batted in of the season for Mark Minikazi. Now Devontre Richardson at the plate. First pitch to Richardson. Fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. So there's been conversations with the expansion in Texas, and those conversations will continue. And now there's been conversations about a team in, say, Northern Virginia in that Loudoun area. That's been a pretty well-known thing for a while, but they have a new ownership group trying to get a team over there. Fastball misses upstairs here to Devontre Richardson. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then Virginia Beach has always been a part of the conversation as well, but they haven't been able to get the public funding needed for a ballpark over there. And then there's been some light talk about potentially going back down to Atlantic City, or is Camden still an option? 1-1 coming to Richardson. It's fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's no other definites that have been announced by the Atlantic League just yet, but I did think it was interesting that Frank Bolton made it a point in his announcement of a team in High Point to also bring to everyone's attention that the league has intentions and are continuing to look to expand from the current 8-team format out to an eventual 12-team format. I mean, this is a league that's on the rise, starting to become more and more well-known in baseball circles around the country. The 1-2. Grounded softly towards the left side. Charging in is Simpson. He's called off by Dent, who fields, throws it on to first. And it's in time to beat Richardson. Wasn't running at full speed. And now there's 2 away. Minakazi holds at second base on the play. And now Carlos Guzman will step to the plate. Guzman 1 for 3 today. He is 1 hit shy of 1,000 in his professional career. He nearly had it in his last at-bat when he grounded back to the pitcher Joe Van Meter. It deflected off of his shin, rolled down the first baseline, but Van Meter was able to toss it over to first base to beat Guzman. And now with 2 out and the Patriots trailing by 4, there'll be a meeting on the mound with Paul Fletcher, the York Revolution pitching coach. And they want to pitch carefully here to Carlos Guzman. Hypothetically, say Guzman hits a home run here, then it's just a 2-run ball game. I mean, the Patriots, they are on the comeback trail. They trailed by as many as 7 runs. It was an 8-1 ball game heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. The Patriots got a run back in the 5th. They've scored 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. They trail 8-4. Mark Minakazi leads off of second. And Carlos Guzman at the plate here, looking for his slice of history. See if he can get hit number 1,000 in front of a strong crowd here on a Saturday night in Bridgewater. Click comes set, the first pitch. It's a breaking ball, drops in for a strike, 0-1. There's a lefty getting loose in the Revolution bullpen. They've really made a change recently for their closer. Chase Hutchinson's become their closer as of late, instead of Brad Allen, who began the season as the closer for the Revs. 0-1 pitch coming from Click. Grounded to the right side. It's going to go right over to Alonzo Harris, who tosses it over to first, and that retires the side. So Guzman might have to wait another day for hit number 1,000. The Patriots get 2 runs back here in the bottom of the 8th inning on a 2-run double from Mark Minakazi. It's now an 8-4 Revs lead as we head to the 9th on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC, and WCTCAM.com.
At Hunterdon Family Medicine at Bridgewater, board-certified family practice physicians Drs. Klein and Shapiro provide a full range of medical services, including acupuncture. We look forward to caring for your family. Visit hunterdonhealthcare.org.
Lancaster 7, but Lancaster is attempting a late field goal, so they could tie it. All the scores brought to you by Miller Lite.
Hang out with friends, reward employees, or entertain your clients with a great view of the action from the party deck. Groups of 30 or more can enjoy a party on the party deck and enjoy an all-you-can-eat premium buffet. Call the Patriots Group Sales Department at 908-252-0700 to plan your party on the party deck. We will move now to the top of the 9th inning here at TD Bank Ballpark. A new pitcher on the mound for Somerset. It will be A.J. Ochter to come on here. Patriots trailing 8-4. 8 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Revs. 4 runs on 7 hits, and no errors for the Somerset Patriots. A.J. Ochter, the 4th different relief pitcher used by Somerset tonight. The righty, former Major Leaguer, he'll work from the stretch. And he'll go up against the 2-3-4 batters for the York Revolution. First pitch here from Ochter. Fastball, and this is low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So Ochter coming on, hoping to make it another scoreless inning for this Patriots bullpen that has performed quite well lately. Ochter from the stretch. First pitch here to Mitchell, fouled off to the backstop, 1-1. With that, we'll pause 10 seconds, on 1450 WCTC for station identification. Jared Mitchell at the plate here to work against A.J. Ochter. It was Mitchell who opened up the scoring in this ballgame with a solo home run all the way back in the top of the first inning. 1-1 from Ochter. Fouled off down the third base line out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mitchell's 1 for 3 today with that home run. He also drew a walk in the fourth, but grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in his last at bat. It's been 3 2/3 innings of scoreless relief for this Patriots bullpen. Dwayne Belo tossed an inning in 2/3, John Hunton with an inning, Justin Wright with an inning, and now it's A.J. Ochter coming on the mound here. Ochter's been used mostly as a long man for the Patriots this season. The 1-2 misses low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last time we saw Ochter was back on September 5th. Tossed 2 scoreless innings of relief and wound up earning a victory in that ball game. So he's on the mound here to work against the righty Jared Mitchell. Infield back, outfield straight up. Wind blows out towards center. 2-2, grounded down the first base line. It's a foul ball. Ochter's 3-2 on the season with a 3.81 ERA. 19 games, 2 starts, 17 relief appearances. And I remain interested to see what Ochter's role is going to be come postseason. I mean, there's no secret that Brett Jody has to make some decisions in terms of his postseason roster. Not everybody who's on this team right now, not everyone who is active, is going to be on the postseason roster. I mean, the Patriots right now, they have the luxury of using the inactive list. The 2-2 here to Mitchell. Softly fouled off to the backstop. Count holds. I mean, the Patriots, in case you haven't noticed as of late, they've been using the inactive list to switch around some starting pitchers and really maintain a roster size right now of 28 players. 29, actually, if you include John Hunton coming back onto the team and getting activated today. So 29 guys active for this team right now. 2-2 to Mitchell, grounded foul again. A long turn at bat here for Jared Mitchell. But with Hunton now active and back, we'll have to see whether Hunton proves himself. It'll likely be a stretch of maybe 3 or 4 relief appearances that Hunton makes over the final week of the season to determine whether he is available and at his top level that would warrant using him in the bullpen as an active player for the postseason. 2-2 pitch on its way from Ochter. Fastball misses inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Mitchell about to see the 9th pitch of this at bat. But if you include Hunton, then that's 29 players. So the roster has to be trimmed down to 25. And there's not the option of having an inactive player and active switched around in the first series. 3-2 here to Mitchell's fouled off. So now he's about to see pitch number 10. So if you go under that mindset, you go 12 batters and 13 pitchers, you go 13 position players and 12 batters. That's going to be a decision that Brett and, frankly, John Hunton, the director of player personnel, will have to make. And John's very good with this. I mean, he knows going into coming back and being active here that, if he doesn't have his top stuff, he's the architect of this team. So he knows not to put himself in a situation where he's taking a spot away from somebody else if he doesn't give the team the best chance to win. 3-2 here to Mitchell, grounded into center field, a base hit. A 10-pitch at bat for Jared Mitchell culminates in a base hit into center field. A nice at bat for Jared Mitchell. That's his second hit of the ball game. And now that'll bring Luis Cruz to the plate.
Catcher Luis Cruz.
So with that conversation, I mean, John Hunton, you wouldn't make any argument for not keeping him in the postseason roster. I mean, this is a guy that's the best closer in Atlantic League history. All of the accolades, voted as the number 4 greatest Somerset Patriot of all time. So it would certainly be hard to mount an argument to not include Hunton on the postseason roster. As this pitch from Ochter misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So if you anticipate Hunton being on the postseason roster, then, that just makes even more interesting decisions that we will have to see from this Patriots team as we wrap up the 2017 regular season. A lot still to come in terms of how we're going to shape this postseason roster. Cruz swings through the breaking ball here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Luis Cruz is 0 for 3 today. He struck out a pair. He drew a walk back in the 5th, came around to score a run. It's an 8-4 York Revolution lead with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. And Jared Mitchell leading off of first base. Achter comes set here. The 1-1. Pitch misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, it looks like it's Chase Hutchinson that's getting loose in the Revolution bullpen down the left field line. I mean, Hutchinson for most of the season has been one of, if not the most successful relief pitchers here for the Revolution. Cruz swings through a fastball. Mitchell takes off from first base, and there's no throw down to second. It'll be a stolen base for Jared Mitchell. That's his 20th stolen base of the season. 24-25 along the base paths. So we'll likely see Hutchinson come on for the 9th inning, even though it won't be a save opportunity. It's a 4-run lead right now for the Revs, but might as well be a save opportunity. Won't be a save, Hutchinson won't be able to tally a save to his overall ledger, but this is an important game for the Revs, a game that they need to hold on to. It's the last game that's currently going on in the Atlantic League. 3 other games have gone final. The Skeeters have already won today. The Barnstormers have lost. So it's an opportunity for the Revs as Cruz here swings through the fastball from A.J. Achter, strike 3. With that, that is now the 15th strikeout of the ballgame for the Somerset Patriots pitching staff. That ties a single-game high that was set back on August 13th against the Lancaster Barnstormers. In that game, it was spearheaded by Mike Antonini's 10-strikeout performance over 5 innings. Today, Efrain Nieves struck out 8 batters over 4 1/3 innings. And now with 4 different relievers coming on, Dwayne Belo struck out 3, John Hunted struck out 1, Justin Wright struck out 2, and now A.J. Achter has struck out 1 batter so far. As the first pitch now to Telvin Nash is swung on and missed, 0-1. Nash has struck out 2 times. So 15 strikeouts as a team for the Patriots, but they still trail 8-4. Off of second base, it's Jared Mitchell. Nash is 1 for 3 today with a pair of runs scored. Fouls off the fastball here. And the count now 0-2. Another game has gone final. The Long Island Ducks were shut out at home against the Bridgeport Bluefish tonight, 4-0. Bridgeport had a come-from-behind victory over at Bethpage Ballpark last night. So the magic number for Long Island, it stays at 5. And, this is an important stretch. Long Island doesn't have a very easy schedule over the remainder of the season. They have 1 more game against the Bluefish tomorrow. Then it's 3 against the Lancaster Barnstormers, 3 against the Sugarland Skeeters, and a makeup game that they need to play on Monday against the York Revolution because they only wound up playing 2 of their 3-game series against the Revs over at Peoples Bank Park earlier this week. So the Ducks will play the Revs on Monday, and then 3 against the Barnstormers, 3 against the Sugarland Skeeters. So the Ducks are going to have a very large role to play in the Freedom Division champion. 0-2 here is grounded foul. So it's not an easy end of the road for Long Island. The Bluefish, on the other hand, they have 1 more game against the Ducks. And then after that, they finish the season against the Sugarland Skeeters down at Constellation Field. And before that, they play the Sugarland Skeeters at Constellation Field after this series against Long Island. And then they finish up, of course, at home against the Somerset Patriots. So not an easy schedule for either the Ducks or the Bluefish, but what Bridgeport has done has kept themselves alive pretty much. Mitchell takes off from second as this pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Mitchell steals third, but that is now the 16th strikeout of the ballgame for the Somerset Patriots pitching staff. That sets a new single-game high this season. 16 strikeouts. And we have 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Revs still lead 8-4. They now have a runner 90 feet away from home. And that'll bring Michael Burgess to the plate. So far there have been 26 outs recorded by the Somerset Patriots pitchers. 16 of those 26 outs have been via a strikeout. And now Burgess, who has struck out 2 times, he is 0 for 3 today, steps in. First pitch fastball to the left-handed hitting Burgess, misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So with Bridgeport beating the Long Island Ducks earlier today, Bridgeport's now 3.5 back in the Liberty Division, and they are not out of contention just yet. The 1-0 here from Akhtar. Breaking ball misses outside 2-0, and you got to feel a little bit for the Bluefish. I mean, this is their final season in Bridgeport, and they narrowly missed out on winning the first half Liberty Division Championship. They were only a game behind the Patriots when the first half came to its close. Right now, actually, as of this very second, because Lancaster lost earlier today, the Bluefish have the best overall record in the league. 2-0 to Burgess, almost swings out of his shoes. He's late on the fastball, 96 miles per hour, says the radar gun here, 2-1. This is a Bluefish team. They are right now, with their win today, they are 73-60. The Lancaster Barnstormers are 72-61. So Bridgeport has the best record in the league, and yet they're 3.5 games out of a playoff spot. The 2-1. Fastball misses inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. I mean, I think what they're hoping for at the very least is when they return for their final series at home, that those games are meaningful, that they could pack out the ballpark at Harbor Yard for the final home weekend in that ballpark's history and try to make those meaningful games and potentially clinch a playoff spot. It would be their first playoff spot since 2010. 3-1 to Burgess. Drops in for a called strike, 3-2. Burgess thought that was low ball 4, but the count runs full. So you have a Bluefish team, best record in the league, but right now they're 3.5 games out. But that's the way that the Atlantic League works with this half format. It's just tough. If, say, hypothetically, the Lancaster Barnstormers had beaten the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in that Freedom Division play-in game, then the Bluefish would be major fans of the Lancaster Barnstormers. Because hypothetically, if Lancaster had won that ball game and then the Barnstormers go on to win the second half, that would have opened up a wild card spot for the team with the next best overall record, which in this case, quite clearly, are the Bridgeport Bluefish. 3-2 to Burgess, swung on and missed strike 3. A.J. Akhtar strikes out the side, strands a runner at third. 17 strikeouts for Patriots pitchers today. It is rally time in Somerset. We will move to the bottom of the 9th inning. 4 to tie, 5 to win. Coming up next on SPN.TV, 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. When the world keeps trying to drag me down, gotta raise my hand, gonna stay my ground. I say, hey, have a nice day. Have a nice day.
We move to the bottom of the 9th inning here at TD Bank Ballpark. Patriots trailing 8-4 against the York Revolution. There's a new pitcher on the mound here for the Revs, and predictably, that is Chase Hutchinson, who has come on to the mound. The Fayetteville, Arkansas native will come on trying to get the final 3 outs of this ball game. It'll be Omo Rosario, followed by Yovan Gonzalez, and then back to the top of the order, and Alfredo Rodriguez. 8 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Revs. 4 runs on 7 hits. and no errors for the Somerset Patriots. Michael Click's evening has come to a close. Michael Click wound up allowing 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 walk and 1 strikeout over his 1 inning on the mound. And now it's Chase Hutchinson to get the final 3 outs. 4 to tie for the Patriots, 5 to take the lead and win this ball game. Rosario will hope to start off this rally. First pitch here from Chase Hutchinson, grounded right back to Hutchinson. He fielded off the mound, and an underhand toss to first base. 1 pitch and 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. A reminder to stay tuned for the Flemington Department Store postgame show. After the conclusion of this ball game, we'll go over the highlights from this one and then set the stage for tomorrow's series finale between the Patriots and the York Revolution. Jovan Gonzalez will step to the plate here. Gonzalez is 1 for 3 on the day. A base hit back in the 3rd inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Right-handed batter to work against the southpaw Hutchinson. Hutchinson has 4 saves on the season. He's 4-3 with a 1.46 ERA. First pitch fastball is in for a called strike from the southpaw. A 6'5", 215-pound lefty. So the count 0-1. Hutchinson was selected to the Atlantic League All-Star Game, tossed a scoreless inning of relief here at TD Bank Ballpark on Wednesday, July 12th. The 0-1 to Gonzalez. Grounded softly towards short in front of its Ryan Dent. Collects, fires over to first base, and there's 2 away. So the Patriots are now down to their final out of this ball game. It'll be up to Alfredo Rodriguez to continue things here. Rodriguez will step in for his 5th plate appearance. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Also drew a walk in the 1st and hit a sacrifice fly to left field in the 3rd. Somerset plated 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th to bring this game within 4, but right now that's where the score holds as York looks to even up this series at 1 game apiece. Patriots won 6-0 last night. It's an 8-4 lead here for the Revs. First pitch to Rodriguez. And misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. A 4-run first inning for the Revolution got them off to a hot start, and they have not looked back since. They have led from the second batter of the game on a Jared Mitchell solo home run. 1-0 to Rodriguez, grounded foul down the 3rd baseline. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the series finale tomorrow, it'll be a 1:05 first pitch. We move back to the early time on Sundays, now with school back in session. Lucas Irvin will take the mound for Somerset against Jay Gauss for the York Revolution. Gauss has been a strong pitcher for the Revs this year. The 1-1. Misses a bit inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Irvin 8-3 with a 4.05 ERA. Gauss 9-3 with a 3.08 earned run average. Gauss actually made his Atlantic League debut early in the season as a reliever against the Patriots here at TD Bank Ballpark. 2-1 misses inside to Rodriguez. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the 9th inning. Patriots down by 4. Rodriguez and the Patriots would have to continue this ballgame to Kyle Roller to bring the tying run to the plate. Justin Trapp awaits on deck should Rodriguez get aboard to continue this game. 3-1 from Hutchinson. Line drive into right center field. Over goes Harris. It drops in front of him. A base hit for Alfredo Rodriguez. His first hit of the ball game. He's now hit safely in 5 straight. And the ball game continues. It'll be Justin Trapp to the plate now. Trapp is 1 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. Bases loaded walk in the 5th inning. A double to lead off the 8th. So now he gets his 5th plate appearance of the ballgame. A .417 batter against the Revolution. Granted in a very small sample size, just 4 games this year, but still a good average. Swings through the first pitch fastball from Hutchinson, 0-1. Well, just to provide some context, Chase Hutchinson has not allowed a run, whether it be earned or unearned, since July 4th. And those are the only 2 runs that he's allowed in the entire second half of this season. Very impressive stretch from him. as Trapp swings through the fastball here, 0-2. It was 2 runs in a third of an inning against the Bluefish back on July 4th. Since that point, Hutchinson has not allowed a single run. Over the process, earning 2 wins alongside 3 saves. Wasn't a great start to the year, but boy, has he been impressive lately. The 0-2 to Trapp. Swung on, popped up foul, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. "26 scoreless appearances in a row for Chase Hutchinson. A stretch that has dropped his ERA from 2.73 down to 1.47. What a year it's been for Chase Hutchinson. Now entrenched as the closer for the Revs. We have not seen Brad Allen tonight, a 6'4" righty. The Patriots are down to their final strike. It's Justin Trapp at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. The pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tony Thomas awaits on deck. He's hoping for his 5th plate appearance of the ballgame. Rodriguez with a very soft lead off of first, held on by Michael Burgess. Justin Trapp is hit safely in 9 of his last 10 ball games, hitting close to 500 over that clip. A right-handed batter, a versatile player in the field. The 1-2 from Hutchinson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Trapp chases a fastball outside of the zone, and that will end the ball game. The Revolution come back and they salvage this series. Well, they earn a split right now as they win tonight's ball game by a final score of 8-4. For all of our SPN.TV viewers, we very much appreciate you guys tuning in all night long. We're going to sign off for now. Our next SPN broadcast, I believe it's next Thursday. All of our playoff games will be broadcast on SPN.TV as well. So we very much appreciate you guys tuning in, as well as Chris Drabick, Jonathan Danica, and Ed Fagan running the SPN broadcast. For all of our radio listeners, you can stay tuned for the Flemington Department Store postgame show. That comes up next as the Revs win this ball game 8-4 on 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.